Hey everybody, welcome. This is the Sunday Crew, session number 4, and we're kind of doing some pre-session stuff. But the Sunday Crew is here. They are in town, and I was answering some questions for Outlaw about town phase. And I just wanted to make sure I was recording because I talked about all of this with the Saturday Crew when they went to town. But of course, not everybody on YouTube gets to see that. So everything in Torchbearer has a cost. In the adventuring phase, the cost is turns on the grind. In camp, the cost is checks, which you had to earn during your adventuring phase. In town, everything costs money. Every time you take actions in town, you are going to keep track of what's called your lifestyle cost. Think of it as your bill, right? That's building up. It's like when you go to a hotel and you charge everything to the room and you settle your bill when you check out. Well, the same thing's true in town. In town, most of the time you don't pay for anything. You just basically say, put it on my tab. And you build up this expense. And then when you go to leave town, you have to pay your bill. And you're going to make a resources check. And if you fail the resources check, basically you kind of, skimped on your bill a little bit and you didn't make good on your payment. If you make your resource check, then, you basically are able to cover all of your expenses. So in town, various actions that you take will increase your lifestyle costs. So one of the things that you guys are going to have to do while you're in town is sort of keep track, either, on the screen there or, on your own time, what your current lifestyle cost is. It starts at 0 and it goes up from there. 1, 2, 3. Depends on what you do and how much you do. But that's ultimately going to decide how expensive your town visit was when you go to leave town. So normally when you go to the market to try to haggle, that increases your lifestyle cost by 1. But if you have the haggler dwarf ability, outcast ability, you get to do it for free. Additionally, when you would haggle with somebody in like a conflict, just like how there's like the might is used for physical conflicts, precedence is basically how socially powerful your character is. And as adventurers, your precedence is 0. You basically are like scum of the earth, Ronin. No one wants to haggle with you. But as a shrewd dwarf, you can ignore that requirement. And basically, you'll be able to haggle with essentially anybody.
I think I'll take that one instead of the armor because it fits my character better.
Sure. I mean, realize that principally and predominantly is only going to be really useful in town.
No, I get you.
But there could be a situation where you are trying to negotiate in a conflict, and that could happen in a dungeon scenario. And
like if it goes,
sure. And then if it well, that was a convince conflict. This would be a negotiate conflict, and in a negotiate conflict, your haggler skill will determine whether you can negotiate with them or not. And for example, lowly adventurers, basically, if let's say, I think let me find the list here, or the order.
That just means I need to actually get a haggler skill now.
that would probably be a good thing.
Although I got to make it hard on myself.
Well, you do have the negotiating nature, so as long as you could probably keep using your nature to do that as well. But conflicts. So in like the might scale, which is like the physical might scale, right? Adventurers are a 3, kobolds are a 1, goblins are a 2, ogres are a 5, hill giants are a 6, ancient dragons and storm giants are 7s. Well, there's also a social scale called precedence. 0 is prostitutes, criminals, adventurers. 1 is like peasants and laborers. 2 is merchants, architects, doctors. 3 is landless nobility. 4 is high nobility. 5 is low clergy. 6 is high clergy, and 7s are kings and queens. So just like there's a precedence to who you can fight with might, there is a sort of scale for who you can socially interact with. Basically, it doesn't matter how good you are at haggling and how good you are at convincing. If your precedence is too low and you go up to some king or a high bishop or noble, they literally will not listen to you. Just like how, no matter how powerful your adventurer was, if your might was 3, you could never go and kill a storm giant because their might is too much higher than your own.
Derek, where do we write this? This thing that we get, is it a trait that this is like a ranger level benefit? So I get one of these benefits and I know which one I want. Where does it go on this sheet?
You have an entire sheet dedicated to your level benefits.
Level. Oh, you write it in on the level benefits. Perfect. Thank you.
And in fact, I think it says add level 2 benefits.
Yep. I'm in edit mode now.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So who is level 2?
Sadok is.
Sadok is, okay. Do.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Sadok. Erber is not level 2. Amos is not level 2. Is Tane level 2? I don't think so because GM Scott wasn't here. So I think it's just Karanalos and Sadok. Amos could have been level 2, but Boothby chose to not cheat. Which, again, is the kind of behavior I would expect out of the greatest player of all time. All right. Well, technically, we're still waiting for GM Scott, but in the meantime...
just my camera is not working.
Oh, okay. Well...
Something has claimed control of it, and I can't figure out what.
Sick. Well, if somebody wants to, I don't know who wants to give the prologue, but even though we are starting obviously in town phase, you guys still get a prologue if you are interested in one. Now remember, if you do the prologue and it is to our satisfaction, you can clear one condition in recovery order. That means left to right, or top to bottom if you're looking at your character sheet, but you cannot cure sick or injured. So basically, and then if you don't have any injury or you don't have any conditions that you could clear, you can instead clear a point of taxed nature if you have a point of taxed nature. And then if you don't have a point of taxed nature, you can remove a point of burden or rememorize a spell. And then if you don't have any of those, get fucked.
I think I did it last time, so I don't think I can do it this
Correct.
time.
And if you did it last time, you cannot do it this time.
And it sounds like probably almost everyone else in the party would benefit more than I would because I don't have anything to clear.
Do you have any taxed nature?
I do not.
All right.
Bob could get rid of exhausted.
Bob could get rid of exhausted, but that would mean Bob would have to give the prologue.
Correct. That's the problem.
Well, but if he does it poorly, that doesn't hurt us.
Correct, but you do lose.
It just doesn't help Bob.
It just doesn't help Bob, and it doesn't help anybody else.
I need to figure out a new belief because mine got changed last session.
Yeah, so
yeah, I think a lot of us have. I have a lot of blanks to fill in.
Right. So even though now I'll be completely honest with you guys, this is your first town section. Saturday crew did their first town session. It kind of took the whole session. Okay. I don't think it should always take that long. But because there's a lot of I don't know how this works and we're trying to figure stuff out, blah, blah, blah. I don't, you might, I'm not saying you won't make it back to the dungeon or something like that. But if we do, it'll probably be you'll get there and, we'll end it. In fact, I think Saturday crew basically returned to the dungeon, went to the camp and there's campsite and kind of ended it there. But, so keep that in mind when you start thinking about, if your beliefs have changed, because you still can get fate points, persona point, awards this session, even if you are in town. But also think about your goals specifically, think about it. What is my goal in town, to keep that in mind and to make it achievable. And of course, remember, a goal can't be something that is so, I'm going to buy rations isn't really much of a goal because it's, that's like saying my goal is I'm going to walk to the next room in the dungeon. It's kind of pretty assumed that you will be able to do that.
Be a town goal?
You know what? I have no idea. Well, a town goal might be for example, I'm going to focus on my health and recover this illness. Because that's not a guaranteed thing, right? Depending on, and get rid of your sick condition. I'm going.
How about taking all the spells I got from this Elven spell book and adding them to my library so I can be useful to the group? Well, is that a goal?
The problem with your library is nowhere near this thing. Now, the thing is, you have to realize is that like there's a difference between your library, right? Because it's not your library, GM Scott. It's your master's library.
Correct. Yeah, my library is currently maintained by him until such time as he deems me worthy.
Correct.
However, I could create my own secret stash library somewhere.
Correct.
But then it's vulnerable to theft.
Correct. And I should point out that you can learn and cast spells out of this ancient elven spellbook.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to do that, GM Scott, that would probably involve you leaving town and traveling to the Wizard's Tower, which would involve you going into the adventuring phase.
Okay.
Now that might be something the group is willing to do because, hey, this is Tane, this is our buddy, this is our wizard, and maybe the session is we're going to finish up here in town, then we're going to make a journey to the Tane's Tower, and that's another town phase, technically. You'll go from town phase to town phase.
We can't do that because we got that stupid necklace on.
Well, no,
Yeah.
that's true, you will. But to be fair, all you would do is gain a permanent hungry and thirsty that you could not clear until you went back to the dungeon. But yeah, you could do that.
That sounds like a horrible fate for a hobbit.
Yeah. So, scrolls then. Creating a scroll. I saw it increased the my lifestyle by +1.
Yeah,
so that's for each level of scroll I try and create.
Yeah, so generally speaking, in town, there's different costs for different actions. Also, not every action is available in every town. This is a remote village. Certain things are just not here. This town does not have like a hotel or something like that. It basically has a flop house where you can kind of like sleep on the floor. However, there is an idea of something called personal business. And this is basically kind of a catch-all category. It's you doing stuff that involves, you using your own skills and taking care of, your own personal business. And doing something like crafting a scroll, GM Scott, would be considered personal business. And it is generally +1, period.
Okay. Because I think having one scroll would be nice. I mean, having a bag full of scrolls would be fantastic, but having at least one would be nice because it doubles the number of spells I can cast.
Correct.
I go from 1 to 2.
And that uses your scholar skill. Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
Now, I should note when you make the scholar check, GM Scott, that actually removes it from your memory bank and puts it into the scroll.
Right. So I would have to re-memorize it.
Correct.
Assuming that's the one I want to memorize, right?
Yeah, and you can do multiple scribes as in a single lifestyle check. It just makes it harder. If scribing multiple spells at once, use the highest. Now, obviously, you only have one spell memorized, but if scribing multiple spells at once, use the highest circle spell as the base obstacle and add 1 per additional spell. So,
okay.
And each individual spell is listed with its scribing obstacle.
Right.
So, all right. I'm going to update your guys' little level overlays, and then you guys can start thinking about who wants to give the prologue and what are your goals going to be as a group. And because let me be very clear about this. I really can't fuck with you in town. This is
forever then.
Well, I mean, like this is the players' time to recover. This is a time for you guys to strategize, to think about your loot, to split your loot, to figure out what options you want to do. This is a great opportunity for you to use if you have money. I mean, everything costs money. That's the key, right? The only limiting factor here is your cash. Obviously, and what's available in this town. Now, it's a remote village. It's not great. It's not the bustling crossroads that Sadok is from. On the other hand, so it's really a player-driven thing. Now, you still may make checks, and those checks could result in twists and conditions if you fail them, obviously. But often than not, it is going to, again, be something that is not going to get you into too much trouble because this is really a town, a player-driven phase.
So, can we talk like maybe you might be able to if I just state what I want to do, they may be able to figure out how that would work, like mechanically, or what it actually means in a game sense. Because
Yeah.
I think we have to set our new belief. Do we? I don't know the order of operations. Is there a recap first, then we set our beliefs
Technically,
and goals?
no, you set your beliefs and goals actually technically after the prologue. So,
Okay.
But yes.
Well, I think Bob mechanically is the best person to do it because that would avoid him having to try and lose exhaustion. But then again, if Herber doesn't lose exhaustion, it doesn't matter if also Cornelis is
Barber can't
exhausted.
do what he did last time.
Right.
did
No,
last
I'm just saying if one of us is exhausted, effectively we're all suffer the same penalty, correct? Right. So
Unless you don't put him in the conflict.
stick this one out, Herber. So I mean, I don't want to ask Bob to do something he doesn't want to do or feel comfortable doing.
Look, I'll give the recap. It's just not going to be good. I guarantee you, I forgot half of what happened, and it's going to be real rough. The thing I remember is I leveled up when we got to town.
I mean, I'm willing if you want to give it or don't mind giving it, and I trust I believe in you, Carnalus.
Gosh. I'm memorying it what it used to be.
Which is funny because you're an elf and
oh yeah, mechanically my character should know this, but Bob, the player, does not remember things very well. and I've spent the last 2 weeks in a fog. So I remember we met GM Scott.
It's been 4 weeks.
Yeah, I know. It's been a month since we played last because of Easter. I mean, Yeah, I mean, I could try if you guys want.
you know what? You could try, and because of the thing, I'll let other people if they need to make. I
might be just lucky if I remember what we did. There's not gonna be like the fluff of laughing out loud here.
I want to check something.
That's funny. All right. Well, can you at least start with something?
Oh, I didn't know. Ryan said he was checking something. So
I didn't see if I shared my notes, but I did not. So
perfect.
You don't have those.
Even better. What I recall last time is our party of 4 awoke in the temple room that was dimly lit after we got through that dragon door. We then opened it back up to let Tane in, who was on the other side knocking, and we let him back in, recapped with the group. Then we made camp. We did a map test so we could easily travel back to what we were doing. Then we debated whether to leave to go back to town or not. We decided to press on into the darkest area of that room. We pressed on through the whatever was a bay or something, and it was dark in there. And we were confronted by, I thought it was like a ghost thing. And it had like little alcoves with like 4 skeletons in each one. And they were ready to, go to town on us. We were way outmatched. We decided to sort of negotiate. Now, before that, we decided to change our goals, and Jim Scott decided he didn't want the dagger anymore as his goal. Then we decided to find that dagger in that next room. We decided that we were told we were not worthy of the dagger unless we went and found this harp. But we were able to somehow negotiate well enough with the gassed ghost thing where we didn't die. We didn't lose too drastically in the encounter. And we left with some of us taking on sort of a curse, blessing curse. And we were tasked with, finding this harp and making ourselves worthy of being this great party that's going to, like, cleanse this dungeon of whatever is going on. And then we hightailed it back out finally of the dungeon. Oh, and we found, they gave us some money. We got some of the money from some of the skeletons, and that was what we needed, some gold. And we got
That's
some
what he
gold.
remembered. The
And
money.
then we hightailed it back out finally. We camped outdoors, which was great. We were able to rest up outside in sort of around the temple entrance, and then started making our way back to town, where we arrived here. Half us leveled up.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't think I missed anything drastic.
The
I
only thing
leveled.
you really missed was that the ghost was extremely disappointed in us that we had not earned enough money to get prostitutes in town like the other group did.
Yes.
He specifically was very concerned about the prostitutes in the town.
Yeah, I must have just forgot about that.
I think you also forgot about the trap. There was a trap where when you
Indiana Jones.
the Indiana
Penitent
Jones,
Subway
the,
trap, yeah.
only the worthy can enter here.
Oh, we had a duck.
And you had
Let
a
the
duck.
respectful enter
Yes,
here.
let the respectful enter
That's it.
here. And you guys walk through, and you
Well,
guys
if I remember,
failed.
I think I just walked and almost died.
Correct. Well, you
so-
failed, and so what I did is I gave you a success with a condition, and the condition
Yeah.
was you're afraid, because at the very last minute, Tane yelled out "duck," and
Which would make sense that I forgot again that it happened.
And he said, Duck, we're not playing Dragonbane.
and so Coronalos, you can get rid of your exhausted.
Oh,
All right. So, so kind of a quick status check as you guys prepare to set up your beliefs. Remember, at the beginning of a session, you can change your beliefs and instinct, and you can also you should always update your goal to kind of reflect what your goal is for the session. Of course, maybe you didn't achieve it last session, but it's still valid, and you can keep it, of course. But you should be aiming, and remember, of course, if you have a goal, people can share the same goal, but only one person can earn a persona point. Another thing to consider might be to take a look at your current fate and persona points. And for people at home, remember that the number in the silver medallion is how many fate points they have. Fate point usually lets you re-roll a single die, or it lets you explode your sixes. The persona point in gold is the much rarer resource. It's the harder one to acquire, but that's the one that lets you re-roll multiple dice or potentially tap your nature and add all of your nature dice to a single roll, allowing you some pretty significant big rolls. So one of the things that you want to consider too is what you need maybe potentially to get to level 3, or is there a resource that you need more of or want more of than the other one? Additionally, Sadak has, or Coronalos, I should say, you have a point of taxed nature. I should add that to the overhead display, is what your nature is. But Coronalos has a point of taxed nature. Sadak is currently sick. Tane is totally fine. Amos is totally fine, but I do believe, Amos, that you have some burden.
I have 2 burden, so I do have stigmata.
Right. So currently, Amos is kind of bleeding from his eye sockets.
I think that's more severe than what I have.
Okay. I thought that was it.
I think.
All right. Fine. He has uncontrollable shakes.
Right.
And then Erber is exhausted and sick. Having
a rough week.
Erber is playing the role of Derek in this
Pretty much.
in this game.
I'm doing a good job at it.
So we're all set to go there too. And Erber is technically level 2 as well. So I'll have to update him.
If I remember correctly, when we got to town, there was a bonus for
Correct. So when you get
the
to town,
magic.
yeah. So when you get to town, you roll on the town event chart, and that can potentially be a problem. It could be a bad thing. It could be a good thing.
We got festival.
And you guys, that they are celebrating a festival. They are the remote village. Yeah. So this is the festival for the Lord of Sowing and the Lady of Reaping. Offering a prayer at the shrine and offer a prayer at the shrine and gain the blessings of the immortals. You get +1 dice to all peasant and steward tests until the next town phase, if you offer a blessing at the shrine to the immortals, which this town does have a shrine.
that should be someone's goal for sure, to go to the shrine. Now, I assume Dennis,
Peasant and
Amos,
labor?
that yours is going to be Kurt's body to his
Yeah.
parents. Okay.
Right. I'm tempted to pull a GM Scott and abandon that goal Now that we're at the 1 yard line. Just,
Yeah, I think you should. It's the only logical thing to do.
So, so if you're
Yeah.
interested in a +1 die bonus to peasant and steward tests, now is the time to offer up.
Steward.
Yeah, I honestly
Hey.
have no idea what steward does.
You know, Boothby, you consider yourself to be a good role player, but honestly, if you keep succeeding and fulfilling your goals, you're going to level or something,
Yeah.
and we don't want that. I don't
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah. What kind of peasant are you?
I'm going to stay first level forever.
I mean, you kind of could. It doesn't really affect. You don't. It's not like you get more hit point. I mean, you get some cool abilities later on. I mean, one of the big ones for Boothby, because he is
more Erder.
Is he can get more Erder, and so he can bear more burden by
Hold more bodies.
Yeah. See?
but the other one is that when he gets to level 2, he can choose militant, which lets him use armor, helmets, and an additional type of weapon. So he can become more of like a cleric, where he's like can wear heavy armor and
Nice.
you know wield all that stuff. So he can make that choice.
Effective battle priest.
Right, like he could be more of a warrior type and wear armor. So you guys need to decide your beliefs, your instincts if they're changing, and then make sure you set a goal. And
So let me workshop this belief with you guys. My belief before was I definitely wanted to. I do everything myself. I didn't need the help of anybody else. And as we've sort of done this as a party, that's kind of been going away. Sort of been helping and working ourselves as a team and sort of believing in ourselves. But I'm not fully, throw myself in front of you type of belief. So I'm wondering, is there like a midpoint belief where I went from I'm gonna do things by myself, but not like now I'm like not saving the party, like somewhere in the mid. Am I thinking out of line here? You see what I'm saying? Like I'm in the middle. I'm not there yet. Or should that just not be my belief? My belief should just something totally different. I don't know. That's where I'm struggling.
well, I mean, what does Karanelos believe?
I judging by looking at his character sheet, that he believes he should be this elf eventually and retire and like become an elf and sail off into the clouds.
I mean, if you believe that, your elven nature is calling you home,
But I've been acting against it lately.
That's
so
true.
And so I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, you're at 5 of 6, so
Correct. I'm not. It's whatever. But I know before it was like very easy. I'm like, not very easy, but I am doing these things my way. I'm doing things by myself. Well, that's a way now. So now what am I now?
So this is sort of a Torchbearer update. It's a rule. It hasn't really mattered or come up, but just an FYI. As you lose nature, as your nature becomes taxed, the number before the / is what you roll. If you're rolling your nature, if you're adding your nature because you channeled your persona, you can at any time basically accept the tax that your nature has given you. And when that happens, your permanent maximum nature drops by 1. So the number after the /. But then your nature refills to the max. So for example, if Bob was at 1 of 6, he'd be rolling 1 die. Bob can just kind of say, I'm not that guy anymore. I'm a different person. And he would immediately go from 1 of 6 to 5 of 5.
That makes sense.
So that's like the way that your max nature can shrink. Just FYI. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you, Bob.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
Bob,
like it's just like I believe that there may be it's like I know you're saying that you're not fully convinced.
Yeah, I'm not
that they may be
I mean, I think personally
trustworthy or worthy of like what it was that they aren't, that you can do within your way, that
I was a loner
may
before.
have value.
I mean, I think it's more interesting, and it's probably easier to kind of score your points for your belief when it's a very like definitive thing.
I know, that's where I'm having trouble, because it's not either or. So that's why I'm like, maybe I just go in a different direction for now until I've sort of changed again and grew.
Did any of the Geas have any effect on him? Did that change his beliefs? Does he is that purpose of that,
That's the finding the harp thing and proving ourselves worthy.
it's obtaining the dagger to kill the dragon.
Yeah, is that
Gotcha. So we
killing
have
a
to get the heart
dragon thing?
first. So,
Right.
and that's a belief that like
So here's something I think about.
But
which is
remember,
going on with,
belief.
like,
Don't
teamwork.
don't confuse beliefs with goals. You
Yeah.
know, so
Okay.
like belief has to be like a personal philosophy that you
gotcha.
have, that you think, and also too, it should be a question. By the way, feel free of other players. Like, what is something that you want Bob to answer? Because the answer is either they're going to play to that belief and get persona points, or they're going to play, fate points, or they're going to play against that belief, changing their nature or changing their belief, getting a persona point, and sort of continuing to evolve their character. So the real question should be like, what is the question that we would have about Karanalos? What do you, Bob? What would you be interested in exploring? Maybe some other players might think something is interesting or would want to see you explore it. Maybe you like that idea.
I do like that idea.
So
I think that the teamwork thing is an interesting point, especially what we just learned is that these ancient elves created this dagger to slay this dragon, but couldn't seal the deal by themselves. Maybe there is something where Bob has seen, or Karanlas has seen the error of trying to do things by yourself from this meta elf nature, where you might have to be part of a team to accomplish this, and a team of us.
Well, correct, but that's why
Thanks.
that's why my belief changed.
Right.
But like, what is it
Well-
now? Like seeking out the friendship of others is sort of like this weird thing. It's not
I don't know.
really-
I'm trying to think how you'll make a belief out of fostering teamwork.
Yeah.
yeah, because remember, the way that you score the fate point is by taking action in line with your belief. Your belief used to be I'm better off alone. Maybe your belief now is, my friends will always have my back, or maybe I'll always have my friends' back, or
Yeah.
my belief is my party is my family.
Yeah. I feel like that's the next arc. If I get there, maybe I don't.
Well,
But, like, I don't know if I'm
see,
there yet.
Well, no, but that's the point. You're stating that as your belief, and now we get to
Oh.
see that you're playing towards it. And if you do, you earn
Okay.
fate points, and if you don't, then that belief doesn't go anywhere. Or you
Then I'm
play
not-
against it, and you get a fate point or a persona point, and you go, nope. Turns out my friends were not my family. I don't believe that.
I think I'm with I will always have my friends back because
Okay.
they're not yet my family.
So there you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
So again, in a way, the belief is aspirational. I'm asking you.
that's what
I'm asking you to step up
Yeah.
and
now
show
that's what I'm-
us. Action. Like belief is just words, but in order to get the point, you need to have actions, right? Because actions speak louder than words. So
Yeah, because that's the direction I'm going. So you're right.
Right.
But maybe I don't. But that's the direction I hypothetically am going.
correct. So now we get to find out. You get to find out.
Yeah. So goal for Dennis or Booth Amos. Are you switching it or are you staying with Kurt's body?
I'm sticking with the return of this body.
Ryan, what are you thinking?
So I also lost my belief. I assume it's because I went against it. Is that
Correct.
and I earned something important? So I also probably need to. So I think mine was I was like the group's cheerleader or it was something along that lines, or I like believe in my it was a positive. So I think at this point, I think it's like my belief is that the group needs my help for them to stay safe. Is that a belief? Like, it's like it's
Like again, you could put that, but I think it's more interesting when you put the belief as something that is going to be like a split in the road, right? Like a belief might be, I'm the most important person in this group, right? Like or like
I almost put something like that.
or my belief, or your belief might be like, or your belief might be like, the group needs me more than I need them.
oh
And again, we can see, do you play to that belief or not? And so you kind of get this, will he or won't he kind of aspiration.
I see that. I'm gonna change. There's an element of that where I think the group needs me more than I need them. There's some selfishness in because I think there was some like spat I had, which was the reason why.
Also you ended up getting sick and then you vomited it out and then you got sick again immediately. There might be a little bit of resentment here, Now what may end up
sense of taste.
Now what may end up happening, Ryan, is through play, Sadok may go, there may be a big moment where you go, no, I do need them. I'm nothing without them. And at the end of the session, you can make a big deal about it and say, that's why I get a persona point, and that's why my belief has changed. But so again, the idea of the belief is this is to be decided. And if you follow that belief, you'll earn fate points. But if you go against it, you earn persona.
And then for my goal is where I wanted to more workshop this. My goal in town is to recover to become healthy enough, and then go back, get equipment back, replenish our resources so we can go back and.
Well, don't make it hard. Don't make it harder on yourself.
No, right. So my essentially is just to recover.
Yeah, you could put that, or you could say my goal is to make sure our packs are full when we leave town of food and supplies. You could have that as a goal as well. That's a very reasonable town goal.
And then laughing, Herber, what was your goal?
Well, I'm going to change my belief.
Okay.
After last game, I believe that the party now likes me. So I'm going to.
Of course we do.
Okay. That's fine. I just want to make sure, remember, in order to earn a fate point, you have to take actions that are in line with that.
So no matter what it is no matter how mean they are to me, I'm going to be nice to them because I know they're having a hard day.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm going to do that, but that's sort of like the idea, because when they were being nice to me with the ghost, I'm like, oh crap, they actually do like me. So it sort of changes the belief in the dynamics of how this group is instead of just a bunch of individuals. So I believe that they're going to like. Wait a second. Is
a group of messy adventurers going on fantasy adventures having a found family moment?
It's funny that the person that was like maybe naively optimistic is now like, these guys need me, and they're like, everyone's like, wow, everyone's so nice.
I just feel bad to help them, so I'm gonna go out of my way to I don't know how to put that, but that's
sort of appeasing the party.
Yeah, to do extra to help the party out, things, kind of stuff like that.
So
the problem is we already sort of do that anyways with the aid and stuff and
well, that's the thing is helping and aiding isn't enough to really count. It's got to be an action. It really has to be something where you're making a check and you can point to that and say, or it has to be a really big important moment of role play and conversation and where it's not just guys, I really like you. All right, I did my thing and earned my fate point. No, you have to really kind of show it. It has to be kind of a moment.
That's sort of the when I'm having trouble figuring out how to turn that into gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
It's not that big of a deal right now.
All right. Anybody else? Everybody have a goal?
I don't have a goal yet.
I got to change my goal because I will find some valuable treasure. I already did that.
Right. Well, you could have that as your goal again, but it might be kind of difficult to do that in town.
Yeah, exactly. My goal is to sell what we found.
What did you find?
Automatically.
We found some coins.
Well, you don't have to sell coins, so.
What do you say?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, then you don't have to worry about then you don't have to worry about selling anything because you guys don't have anything to sell.
Virginia was going to do recover. Maybe that's what your focus could be.
Yeah, my goal will be to recover.
But then you both have it. So if you both succeed...
No. Mine is to make sure my packs are full.
Oh, okay. So there you go, Herber.
My goal is to recover.
Yep.
And what about you, Tane, Jim, Scott?
Well, my belief, as you mentioned, was to locate that dagger, but I believe that we were really far away from it. So I changed it to discover what was on the other side of that door and in that chamber, which thankfully...
Wait, you mean that was your goal?
His goal.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Those were my goals. So I did accomplish that goal. So I need a new goal. And I think I'm choosing, I must write scrolls of ethereal premonition.
All right. Perfect.
As my goal. But my belief also was changed. My belief was that I didn't need the party. And so then at the end, I realized I did need them, right? Because I struck out on my own and then missed a whole session. So when I got back, I'm like, yeah, I guess I do really need you guys. So my belief now is my reliance on others highlights the weakness in my magic. When I gain enough power, I will no longer need them.
All right, perfect. I'm a low-level mage. I have D4 hit points. I need these guys a little bit longer until I can, cast them down with arcane fire and bolts of fire from my eyes and lightning from my ass.
That's about it.
Perfect.
So yes, the only thing is my goal, and I'm debating whether to just have the goal is get back to the dungeon, or something more silly.
That could be if you guys think you can take care of the town and then make the Pathfinder checks to get back to dungeon. That could be your goal could be I want to wrap up a town quickly to get back to the dungeon before Vess.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. You had said earlier that we do not have a known path from the dungeon to here.
You have to pathfind your way back. Correct.
Can I make a cartography check in town?
You can, and that's personal business, and it will increase
+1 lifestyle.
And that is +1 lifestyle. Yep.
All right, let's go with that. I was going to find a prostitute, but I think I'm going to go with the. I'm going to go with
that. Could also be a goal too.
Someone needs to find the prostitute. The ghost expects
that's
it.
Part of our Gaius, right?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like the goal is, I was kind of burdened with some, proving myself.
Hey, Bob, my wife, when he said it's like, wow, really?
Look, it's not me. It's Carnelus.
He's role playing. Okay, it's
maybe we are cringe.
It's what my character.
we are definitely cringe, but that doesn't mean that that it's a bad thing.
It's what my character would do, Bob.
Yes, exactly.
I figured out my belief. The town should know how great my friends are, as I do.
Okay.
Oh, so you're gonna go.
Talk us up.
Yeah, you're gonna talk us up. That's your goal or your belief?
That's my belief.
So your belief is only for in town?
You can change your belief every session if you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I believe that we never leave a dungeon empty-handed. Well, we didn't leave a dungeon empty-handed. We came back with a headless.
You're gonna let everyone know about it.
And
hype man.
Yeah, now we got to make sure everybody knows how great you guys are. And my goal is to just recover because I'm sick of being sick.
Yeah, I mean, your belief could be, we're the greatest and everyone should know it. I mean, that.
Yeah,
it could be more broad than that. Yeah.
I like that if we end up because we almost did that last session when we were talking to the ghost. And we were all like, no, we're awesome.
And if we ever find the rat men.
Yes.
So you guys are in town. You guys are in a remote village, and the available locations are the streets, the stables, a tavern, the shrine, personal homes, and a very small marketplace.
Did we? Not sorry to cut you off, but just was wondering. You said you had done the math, and we actually hit town before the other group did, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Which is why their efforts to discredit you and make you look bad won't affect you right now.
Good thing we got a hype man.
Damn it, that was my plan.
Well, you could do it, but I
got a plan.
I can't.
Why would you want to discredit us?
I can't. Oh, because let me actually be. Vess wants to discredit Carnlos.
That checks out.
But to be fair, I can't. I don't have a time machine, so I can't go back in that. So those locations are available to you guys. If it's not, then the only other option that you can do is you can ask around. You can do research. You can build kit or items. You can go visiting if you have relations or friends in town. You can conduct personal business, or you can try to find someone. So the other thing that you can do here, what you should be doing, is strategizing. So in town, we don't really worry too much about your slots. Not until you leave town does that matter. I should also note, if you leave town and you have no conditions and your nature is untaxed and you make the final check to pay your bill successfully, you regain the fresh condition. So that being said, in town, we don't really too much worry about your inventory. So a good idea, potentially, is to move your guys' money into the town screen so that you guys kind of understand how much money you have to work with. Now, of course, remember, some of you have personal items, personal money stashes, which you may or may not want to include in the group pile. So that might be something that you want to save back, because some of you have personal items. Some of you have your personal stash. I saw somebody move their personal stash onto the...
Yep. Well, Sadak believes they need his personal stash.
Ah, okay.
They're too broke without me.
All right, so Sadak is throwing in his own personal stash of 2 gold. But Amos, Erber, you guys have your personal gold, or some of you may have a trinket from your family keepsake that could also potentially, if in a pinch, serve as a means of gold. So, with that being said, it looks like you guys are working with. Oh, I grabbed this out.
I'll put it all. I put it. I don't think we need. Yeah, I'd say.
So you guys have 2. Now the good news is this is all gold, which means it's fungible. You can break it up into chunks. If you had, say, a gem worth 6 dice of gold, you can't break that up. You have to spend all 6 dice on one roll. But you guys have gold, so you can split up. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then 11, 12, 13. So total, you have 13 dice of treasure. Now, keep in mind a couple of things. Most of you have a resources of 0. This means you're not even allowed to make a check. So if the lifestyle that you accrue is the ob, and this is very important to understand, the lifestyle that you accrue is the ob of the resources check that you'll have to make. Each treasure that you spend on that will give you a bonus of 1 die, 2 die, 3 die, 4 die, depending on how much you make. Here's the good news. If you fail a resources check, the amount of treasure you spent on that check protects you from what's called tax. Tax is the difference between what you rolled and what you needed to roll. So, for example, let's say that the ob was 4, and you roll, you spend 3 dice of treasure, so you roll 3 dice, and you only get 2 successes, so you failed by 2. But you spent 3 dice of treasure, so 3 dice of treasure will protect you from failure, like conditions, twists. It'll basically absorb the difference between what you needed and what you spent. Basically, when you're making a resources check, think of it more like you're getting it on credit. And they basically said, your credit's not good enough. And you go, it's fine. I've got cash. Mm-hmm. And they go, okay, that's cool. Like, we're not necessarily going to extend your line of credit, but you covered your bill. You won't get penalized for it. Now, if you don't have enough treasure to cover the difference between your failure and what you needed, like let's say that you run up a bill and your ob is 9, and then you go and you only spend 3 dice of treasure, or 1 dice of treasure, and you're like, well, I got 1 success. I'm like, okay, well, you failed by 8. And you're like, okay, well, then there's going to be consequences. They might run you out of town. They might exile you. They might banish you. They might tar and feather you. They might say you and your friends are never welcome here again, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Your credit score might go down. So be aware that when you're in that situation. Now, Erber does have 1 resources, so Erber is allowed to make a check without having to spend money, but he only gets to roll 1 die, just FYI. So, first things first. One of the things that you can do here is when you're in town is you can choose to stay at the tavern or sleep on the streets or sleep in a flop house. Here we go. Sleeping on the streets is free. Sleeping in the stables increases your lifestyle by 1. Sleeping in the flop house increases your lifestyle by 1. You get a free recovery for staying in the stables or the flop house. You can recover from angry, afraid, exhausted, and injured, but not sick.
Is there any way to recover from sick in this town?
You would probably have to go and find a healer who can try to heal and recover your sickness.
Cool.
That would be a
Sleeping in the
find
stables
someone task.
The
That would
stables
be-
doesn't bother me.
That would be a find someone task, Sadok.
I believe this is where Ma and Pa Sheepscar live.
Now, Amos, we've never really decided this, but is your home remote village?
It is remote village.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so in that case, Boothby, yes. In that case,
There's a big
Boothby,
banner across the main highway saying "Welcome back."
right. It's like yeah, like he's coming home from war. However, so that costs 0. Okay, that you could stay with them for free. However, we need to roll Boothby to decide what kind of living they have here. See the relationships in town heading of this chapter. Here we go. Relationships in town. I gotta find it. Paying your bills. Okay, parents. A character's parents live in their hometown unless they work the same trade as your hometown skill, which I believe is peasant, right? Parents annoyingly have the same hometown trait as their progeny. Parents are busy trying to keep their heads above water. Parents are always privately worried about their children. When staying with their parents, characters do not have to pay for room board. Instead, they pay a tax of querulous glances, inquiries about the stains on their undergarments, and investigation into their packs and whether they are getting married soon. When visiting a character's parents' home for the first time, roll a d6, Boothby, and note the result. The old place isn't quite like you remember it. So let's see how your
took
parents.
my room and put it in the trophy room.
You can never go home.
You can never go home. Okay, so 4. Okay, your parents' house has the equivalent status of a flop house.
Oh,
So at least it's not stables, which probably would have made sense as a peasant. They're like, yeah, we've got a corner for you to sleep in. Parents will provide according to the accommodation rules. Adventurers may store a cache with their parents, so you can store items with your parents. They will
Here's a
also
body.
provide.
Your body. Yeah.
Yeah.
They will also provide you, Boothby, with reasonable small craft or trade items that could be generated with their skill. Doing so will eat into their livelihood, but no, you take it with you. You need it.
jeez.
Throw them a few silver pieces, they'll be fine.
Okay, so Boothby, so because your parents' house essentially is treated as a flop house, the cost is free. You get 1 free recovery test, and you
Don't
can
need
recover. Okay, well then you don't have to worry about it at all.
No, I don't need that, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. You get 1 free recovery test. You may make an additional recovery test during your stay at your expense. You can attempt to recover from all conditions except sick, but you're staying with home, so that's fine. All right. Everybody else, this is your term to strategize. What do you need? Remember, you've got money to spend. You can use it to refill your packs. You may need food. You may need additional stuff. The market kind of sucks. It's not going to have plate mail, but maybe you can get up a few new items if you would need something.
I'm thinking we need torches, Sadok. That's what I'm thinking.
We should also dump off this body.
Look,
Hey,
you do what you got to do.
Well, I got to carry it. Hey, Boothby, by the way,
I can carry it.
Can your friends come and hang out with you at your house?
Oh, no. There's barely enough room for you, Dennis.
Oh, man.
I mean, if your parents lived in like the palatial hotel, if that had been their thing, it's like, oh, they were the grand peasants. Turns out they're the mayors of this town. Then maybe I might let your friends stay, but no.
Yeah, so
They don't-
Sadok.
They don't approve of your lifestyle.
I don't
Dennis.
have to have friends.
That's true.
For Sadok, his priorities is to find someone to recover from sick,
Okay.
then to refill rations, water, and torches for the group, and then if time and it feels confident, then to get a helmet. But that's not
Okay.
and I don't have this. I think I got rid of my garlic. I think I used it.
Okay.
I still have it.
Yeah, you.
My big thing is to get to the shrine to purify myself so I can stop shaking.
Also, as FYI, when you're about to leave town, everyone can refill all containers, liquid containers with water for free.
Not wine.
Not wine. You can buy wine.
Dang. So I definitely want to go to the shrine as well, and then secondarily, definitely get torches and food.
Yeah. Then at that point, it would be torches, and then rations.
Mhm.
Well, let's rations, then
Yes.
torches for me.
Well, so then, Amos, do you want to drop off his body first, or do you want to
Yeah, let's drop off
go
the
to
body
the shrine?
first.
Drop the body
There's-
first. All
There's
right.
no reason to carry it around in town.
I'll go with Amos, and I assume Erber as well.
Now, I
Is that
don't want to complicate this
Okay.
for you guys, but realize that you could also do stuff in town, like you could go conduct personal business, and Karanalas could, for example, maybe go hunt or forage for food and rations.
Mm.
Now, that won't cost you money to buy the rations, but it would cost you lifestyle, and it would also mean Karanalas is making checks and getting passes and failures and accumulating successes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But there's no the turn in town.
Nope, no turn, no grind.
Well, I heard free food is around in the wilderness.
Okay, but
so,
everything you do costs money.
So even going hunting would cost.
Oh, that's
lifestyle.
that's
how much
conducting
money
personal.
does hunting cost?
That's conducting personal business plus one.
Plus one lifestyle.
Just remember when you go out hunting, the
Well,
sheep are
no.
property.
Now,
And the
not-
tax.
now, Bob, if your instinct had said, whenever I get into town, I always go hunting, then it would be free.
Fair. But it'd be a check anyway if we were buying food. So at that point, it's the same.
No, so buying food is zero life. Buying items is zero lifestyle.
Okay, so what's the benefit of hunting then?
Well, the benefit of hunting is it depends on what
We
you're
can check.
what you're trying to buy and what you're trying to succeed. You might fail to buy rations.
Gotcha.
Also, your resources is zero, so you're gonna have to spend some of your gold and treasure just to even make that check.
So it costs then.
Yeah. So when you go to the market, they need cash on demand.
Yeah,
like
we don't have any credit.
Yeah, you don't have any credit at the market. Yeah, like the hotel and the other places, they'll settle out when you leave town. But at the marketplace, you have to pay right there on the spot.
All right. I'm gonna go out and look for some Pumbaa. That's not the prostitute, sorry. I'm going for a warthog.
All right. So I'm gonna have everybody.
Your taste.
I'm gonna have everybody keep track of this. So Bob, your lifestyle cost is gonna go up by 1
Where do I put that? Just
It's not on your-
just
On a piece of paper.
on a piece of paper.
Okay. That's not just double checking. I'm
It's
like,
not-
if there's something on here I missed again,
No,
I cannot find it.
no. Actually, here, I'll do this.
We need to
Write
keep
it
track of how
down.
much
No, here,
Write it on your arm.
no. I'll just
Tattoo it in me.
I'll just
Hello.
do this. See, visible to.
We need to definitely keep track of how much gold we have compared to what we're trying to do, so we
Okay.
don't overstep what we have.
All right. So there, Bob, you have 1 point of lifestyle.
Yeah, that's
I-
one.
I put it on your character, or I put it on your guy.
What is-
And finding someone would require one lifestyle as well.
Yep, I believe finding someone is finding 1 lifestyle.
If we find somebody and we're both sick, would we both get 1 lifestyle? If we
No,
both use
because if
poison?
he finds someone, then you don't need to
okay,
worry about it because he
what is
found
the
someone.
silver coin? Because the gold is 2 die. There's no pop up for the silver coins.
Oh, there's not.
No, and that lint's got to be worth something. I've been carrying it from the freaking.
No way.
No, it's definitely not. Silver's worth 1.
Okay.
Should have said that. There you go.
And then the bag of coins that we have from our life, those are also sold just like regular coins or
Yep,
whatever
it's
coins we
literally a bag of coins. Yeah, so it's
Oh, yeah, and it's only used if you elect to. So right now, if stays on you, use your personal stuff. I'm electing to provide mine.
I'll put
now-
mine in
well. Hold on a
either
second.
way.
Bob is going hunting.
Oh, okay.
Or Bob, are you going hunting or are you going scavenging?
No, I want an animal
You're going hunting.
hunting.
All right, Bob.
I don't know if I'm gonna succeed. The scavenging probably was better, but going hunting.
Okay. So are you? So you're trying to. Oh,
I blend in with the wilderness around, and I've known my fair share in my days being a loner.
Yep.
That how to live off the land.
what do you want to try to? What do you want to try to hunt?
Is there like a warthog?
Wild
A
hog.
Wild pig? I want a wild pig.
All right. So Bob, you're going to make a hunter test. This is going to be an ambush. It's your hunter versus his nature.
Hunter versus its nature. So versus.
Yep. So you're going to make a hunter check.
Okay. What's its nature? I guess.
Great question. Let's see. It's a giant pig. So I'm going to say it's equivalent. I'm going to say its nature is. Well, it's not 4. It's a nasty beast. We're going to say its nature is 3.
Oh boy. Okay. So 2 versus 3.
Yes.
Can I tap into, you think, to my loner ability since I am going to do this on my own?
You can. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So this, I need it for me, beneficial use.
Correct.
Okay. So for me, yes, plus 1D. Doing this on myself. persona. Blah, 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 blah. I think it's just 3v3.
All right, if you have 2 dice a hunter, that's it.
Yep, 3v3. Here we go.
What are you using to hunt?
Oh, I have my arrows.
All right, well then you have a gear die.
I get a gear die. Where's that die? Gear dice is +1.
Yep.
Okay. Doesn't say anything else for hunting, does it? Special?
Nope.
No, that's just for the armor.
So
okay.
Yep.
All right, here we go. 4 versus 3. Yeah.
Hey. All right, Bob. So
Come here, Pumbaa.
So you go out and you hunt down a hog.
Yeah, I did.
And bring it back. Yeah, I did. With great skill and thunderous applause, you come back with the that scene from Robin Hood Men in Tights where he comes in with the big boar over
That's
his
actually how I'm imagining it.
over his shoulder. And Bob, that generates 3 stacks of fresh rations.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
It was a good size hog.
Now remember, fresh rations, obviously it looks like loaves of bread and cheese, but basically it means fresh food. And so the next time you guys go to town, all that rations rots and you have to get rid of it. But there is something you can do with cook where you can turn those into preserved rations, but
we need a cook.
Okay.
Look at his face. He's like, uh-oh.
Okay, Bob. So you come back, you got 3 stacks of pig meat.
That's right.
I'm not making a custom token for pig meat, but we all know that it's pig
this
meat.
Campaign's over.
I'm sorry.
Destroy my immersion there.
I'm sorry.
What are we even doing here?
Yeah, what are we even doing? This is just like the VTT thing all over again. If it's not, if the pixel art token isn't a pig meat, what are we even doing here? All right, you know what?
Yep.
Fine. Fuck you
It's got to
guys.
be
How
a
about
pork
that?
chop.
How about that?
Bacon.
So and I have to
I want
check it.
3
Oh,
icons.
yeah, that's a pass. So I am 1 passive. Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
I got challenged in a way like that, and it resulted in me getting Taco Bell nuggets for the office because I was challenged. It's the pig meat icon of.
All right. So what else is anybody doing?
So, what goes into finding someone? What is that?
That is a circles test. So it increases your lifestyle by 1, and if the adventurers want to search for a specific person in the settlement, make a circles test. So you are trying to find an adventurer who is lower level than you, and willing to listen, willing to help you for a price, or loyal to your cause.
Oh, it's the heal. Willing to listen, I guess.
Well, so willing to listen means that maybe you have to make a check, or that they're it's very easy to find someone who's willing to listen to you. But if you're trying to find someone that you can hire, then that might cost that's going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah. What's Urber's circle?
My circles are where they at. I have my parents, of course. I got a friend, and
No, it's a value.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Circle 4.
So same.
Yeah, we don't really have them.
I imagine we have to do some haggling here to get them to heal us.
That or persuasion, manipulation.
All of these things are potential options. You're just trying to see if you can find somebody. Circles.
I'm just trying to decide. We both want the same goal, so I'm just wondering to see who is the more fit. Who we think is more. It's
a hit or miss, and it's both of us. So I could help you maybe. Somehow.
Why do you think you might be more? You might be better at haggling, right?
Well, I don't have haggler, but I have negotiator as a nature, which is a 4. So yeah, and I also got manipulator at 2.
I have haggler at 2. If you're, I'll do it.
Well,
and I don't. Sadok doesn't need. You need Sadok self.
Well, remember too, you can help people in town.
Yeah.
With checks.
And then I got the shrewd dwarf. Would that help out at all? from the second level, the haggler test during the talent phase without raising your life cost? Would that help?
That's if you go and do the haggling activity, which is something specific that you do at the marketplace.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I have healer at 3.
Yep.
Can I treat them in town?
You sure can. Now, it'll increase your lifestyle cost, but yes, you can.
It would increase mine because I'm making the check.
Correct.
But you're also not paying for a room to stay at.
Well, you could also make them give you more money.
I mean, it's on the table.
Yeah. They go asking around town. Well, the best healer in town is Amos Sheepscar. I hear he's back in town today.
Oh, I'm going to go full hype man too. I'm going to be talking.
Well, I mean, that's a decision that you guys should make before you start making checks to find a healer. Is it, they're like, oh, actually he left. Oh, wait, he's back. It's the same guy that you guys came into town with.
Well, how can Sadok help Amos with their lifestyle so that I can raise my lifestyle to help us something that would, I guess.
I don't need you for nothing.
No, you do. I think you do.
What was the exact question?
Well, essentially, if potentially he's gonna raise his lifestyle to heal us, then I would try and do something that would benefit him, which I get at this point would probably be torches and stuff like that. Get raised right. Make sure we have all of our.
Go ahead.
Our, backpacks are full. Make sure our equipment is there because we have some food, which is the first thing on the list. So now it's torches. So that's what Sadok wants to do. Is get torches. And also to help and convince Amos to help.
I mean, I can try it. I'm gonna rack up some lifestyle costs in town.
Yeah, go for it.
I got the money for you.
All right, so Amos, what are you doing?
The doctor is in. Yeah, just remember my name is Sheep Scar, not Sheep Surgeon.
All right, so you are going to try to treat someone's illness, correct?
Yes.
Just like the sheep I normally operate on.
Right.
All right. Do you have
shave them bald first?
All right. Naturally.
Collect their wool.
So who are we doing first?
I'm gonna get gold.
Well, we can do Sadok.
Okay, Sadok. All right. So is anyone helping you?
Does anyone have anything that can help?
Survivalist and alchemist can help you.
I assume I'm in the wilderness at this point.
No.
I have alchemist.
Time doesn't matter.
I have alchemist. I can gather herbs or specific patches of mold and dirt from the ground. That would help.
I was going to say on the way back from my hunting expedition, I did find some of this aloe type material that can be rubbed on the wounds.
Okay.
Could I use scavenger, like I'm scavenging up bandages and other things along those lines?
I know. So that is not an allowable one. However, I am allowed to add one skill to each check that you can help with, and I think that's a great example. You're in town; it makes sense that you could maybe find some stuff that they could use. So I will let you help with that. So yeah, survivalist can help with this. Survivalist, scavenger, and alchemist can all help with this check.
And I'd like to use a fate point in case he succeeds.
Well, it's succeed or fail. You get the improvement.
No, yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're gonna synergize.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yep. Spend the fate point.
Can I help even though I'm the one that's being done to?
If you can describe it in a way that makes sense in the fiction.
Yeah.
Salt the wound.
Because the scavenging is what I have.
You got it. You convinced me, Ryan. I'm waiting to be convinced. Otherwise, you might just have to take a knee on this one.
Yeah, I'll just take a knee because the only thing I can help with is scavenging, and if I feel like if he's off helping, I'm the one waiting.
Yep.
So.
Unfortunately, I just realized, Ryan, you're sick from poison, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, it is Ob 6, Boothby.
Oh my gosh.
Might just be worth just dropping a freaking.
So to synergize, it's a fate point?
Yep. And then what will
And then
happen if he fails, you will mark whatever skill you helped with a
which is
failure.
survivalist.
You'll mark
And
a
if I
fail.
fill them all up, it goes up.
It goes. You release all the points, and then it goes
I'm
up.
gonna spend a fate point as well. Then
He's like, I'm 6. Oh, I'm in.
I'm 6. This is almost what we're
Yeah,
talking.
how many dice do you actually have?
I need a failure.
So I have how much help?
Sounds like you have 3 dice of
3.
help.
Yeah.
All
Now,
right, good.
Do you have any medicinal herbs, minerals, or bandages as a consumable supply?
No.
No. Okay.
Put some pocket lint on it.
There you go.
Well, remember,
How many-
it's not an injury. It's sick. You'd be like feeding it to them.
Yeah, eat this. It'll make you feel better. He throws up.
Turns out it was charcoal the whole time.
Right. I have some charcoal.
Do you?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hell yeah, charcoal would be great. You know, it's
All right.
like you make them eat the charcoal
Charcoal
to
filter.
charcoal filter to purge it.
As long as I get some of that charcoal too.
Now, here's a question.
Sorry,
Ryan.
you only have
Have-
a lump of charcoal. Pack 1. Who's getting it? Are you using it? Are you saving it for yourself, Herber, or are you giving it to your
Yeah.
friends?
Now I can't heal
fuck,
his
I
sick
gotta
until
there's my belief right there. Shit.
All right, so you literally do have a lump of charcoal in your pack. So
Yep.
Boothby, you can use that. You can consume that to add 1 point, 1 die of gear,
gear.
Yeah.
All right.
or actually supplies. But yeah,
How many
So
dice you
Ryan,
got?
since you're poisoned, did you try retching for a turn or two?
I mean, I'm familiar with this poison, and it's affected me greatly. My senses are my cook. You know, I'm not the cook I was when I entered.
Mhm.
All right. So ob 6, huh?
How
yeah,
many
there's no
dice you got?
7.
Oof.
All right, here we go.
In that failure.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I see a couple ones.
do you have any wises that you want to use, Amos, or
Unless he's a demon.
he is
You
not?
have a 6 in there.
You
You
could,
can
yeah, but that's
explode.
not going to do anything.
That's not
though.
going to give you 4 successes.
All right.
I got a wise. I don't know if it would work. The wise of that temple. Maybe I could use it for.
No,
like, what-
that's only for the person who's doing it.
Gotcha.
All right. If the healer fails this test, remove the condition and permanently reduce by -1 die the patient's will, nature, or a will-based skill of the GM's choosing. That would
That
be me
sounds
again.
familiar.
Sounds familiar. All right. So, Sadok. Well, it's a brutal healing. And they, you know what, Sadok? This is not the life of a halfling. So I'm going to say that your nature goes down by 1.
But we have purged the
So
poison. from
is
the
it
system.
taxed?
No, it is permanently reduced by 1.
Oh,
Watching you has made me realize how much of a survivalist I am.
So
You're
you would
less halfling. You've grown.
so change that.
four-
to
4 of 4. Yeah. Okay. And remove all your passes from it.
Right, it's going up. Not.
You have to hit the X.
Yeah.
Do
Well,
I have to make any rolls, Derek, when I fill out that survivalist thing, or just automatically goes up 1?
It's just so you increase the rating, go to edit screen, increase the rating by 1, and then clear the passes and
Perfect.
fails, and then that's it.
I'm a survivalist 3 now.
I
And then
think.
Boothby, mark a failure for your heal.
Yep.
But look at the
No,
good news, Ryan. Now you only need 4 checks in order to get your beginner's lux up.
So I think I might just, unless Boothby wants to maybe get a fail for
Well,
healing, I might just retch anyways because
That's for
I
free.
was
That's true.
by the same thing.
Yeah, you could do that.
Now, can I even heal his sicken because he's exhausted still?
No, you can do healer out of a recovery order.
Okay.
Well, Boothby maybe wants another failure. I don't know. Maybe he wants to
I mean, yeah,
stack
do you
up
want another
failures. I mean, this is how you get better at healing, is working on really difficult, virulent poisons, and
And at least it's in town instead of like in the middle of some kind of weird godforsaken thing we're doing in the dungeon.
Temple.
Correct.
Mhm.
All right, we can try it again. Up to you.
So
I'm
this
down.
would increase
Either
the
way, it's gonna happen, so-
lifestyle. This would
This would
Yeah.
increase his lifestyle by 1 again.
Yeah.
so that 2.
All right, Amos.
I will help this time.
I'll help, but I'm not doing the fate point. Same thing. The herbs, maybe they weren't the Those herbs weren't for poison.
What are you talking about? Now you need more. Now you need a bunch of failures again, Bob,
So
Yeah.
it's a fate point to
synergize. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
right.
if Boothby passes, yeah, he gets that.
Right, because now I'm only 6 dice versus Ob 6.
All right. Well, the good news is here is the Ob is only going to be 5, Boothby.
Ooh.
Well,
nice.
because it's the same poison, and so you've gotten some experience with it at this point, so it's a little bit easier. That's a GM factor. I can make Obs go up or down by 1 depending on the fiction, and in this case, I think it's a little bit easier. Not that it's that much the thing. Now, there's no charcoal; that is gone. But
if I can still aid the same way, right? Collecting
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
I
I'll
got
do
three-
that with
I
my
got-
alchemy.
3 helps.
Yep.
3 helps.
Three helps.
Can I aid or no?
If you can make it work in the fiction,
I already scavenged a bunch of crap, so if we had extra.
fair enough. All right, he already got it before he works on Ryan. So
I stocked up. I went to Costco, damn it.
he secretly didn't give you all the charcoal. He saved a little bit for himself. So yeah, that's 4 dice of help, and there you go.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Any 6s there?
I got a couple 6s.
you
You got 1 6. It looks like.
You got 1 6.
2.
Two.
Oh,
Nope,
No, the other
one-
one's for the other dice, I think.
No,
Oh.
it's just 1 6.
No.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
50-50 chance, Boothby, that it'll be a 4, 5, or a 6.
Hey, if you spend
If
it
I
now, you then upgrade up
Oh,
level.
I closed my. Okay. So this is
Luck.
luck.
Is this what you need to spend to level up?
So I have 1 6.
Yep.
Yeah, if you like hover over, it's sort of like a weird the
Yeah, if you hover over the number that's rolled in
3
the roll
dice are a
20.
little wonky.
Yeah, who's using the 3D dice? My God.
All of us.
Wait, raise your hand if you're using the 3D dice. Oh.
I said all of
I'm
us.
also raising my hand.
My hand is
I
not
don't know how to
raised.
get rid of it.
Oh, I turned that shit off immediately.
Oh, damn.
Oh, no bonus successes. You rolled a 2. Okay. Well,
I gotta have the 3D dice. It aids in my immersion.
right, of course.
It's
All
like
right.
I'm at the table.
Boothby, mark another failure. Erber, get rid of your sicken.
Yeah, buddy.
And Erber,
Can I throw something in there on like take off?
nope, it's my call.
Damn. I know.
Yeah.
I figured
That was.
it was out of my
Difficult.
nature.
I'm glad I was successful.
You
in
know,
figure
yes, you're trying to
6s.
negotiate with the GM. No, this is my decision. But you know, you're in town. I don't want to penalize you too much. All right, your orator skill, Erber, is affected as the sickness has made you. It's like you have the brain fog from COVID. You just you can't talk as well as you used to. You get a little bit more tongue tied. So your orator skill goes from 2 to 1.
Cool.
So I'm reducing that. There you go.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Hey, that ain't bad. I just got to get 1 pass then.
that's true.
Go back up to 2.
All right. So Boothby, you have failed to heal this virulent poison, but you've gotten a lot of experience with it.
They are unsickened, so it was a successful treatment.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. And most importantly, you only need a couple passes now. You got your failures all taken care of.
Let them pick up our paper cuts.
Yeah, right. You're like, guys, can you go get like a sprained ankle or something?
Minor wounds would be good.
Get a splinter.
Okay. Well, continue.
Well, when the ancient dragon poison did
Right.
really starts you up here, so when they get the minor wounds, you'll be prepared.
Correct.
Should we go drop off Kurt's body?
Yes.
Okay. Amos,
Yes.
you guys need to.
You find him.
Amos
Is it
is from
looking
this.
for someone?
No, because Amos is from this town. So
I'll say there's a poster. It literally said, "Please find my child."
right. All right. The peasant family of Kurt are overwhelmed and saddened by the return of their son's body. They break down. The wife in hysterics. The husband comforting her. The children deeply saddened. They try to make sense of it all in the greater context of things, and they claim that there is some great evil here at work, and that horrible location. They told Kurt time and time again to stay away from it, but he couldn't help himself. They are distraught and forever broken. However, Amos, they do offer you their services, such as they are. Amos's family become your friends, so you can put this on your friends tab.
Kurt's family, you mean?
I'm sorry, Kurt's family. Yeah, sorry. Amos's family may not be your friends.
For every one of us, or just
No,
for Amos?
just for Amos.
That's what I thought. I was like, wait a second.
He's a fellow peasant. Anyone who has the peasant skill? All right, just him.
He's got enough for all of us.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
I am the best
I
peasant
just
ever.
realized me and Matt pointed at the screen.
Um,
I'm around a table with you guys. That's
There's
my immersion right now.
my
They-
camera doesn't work. I'll say I didn't do it either.
You can do points.
Boothby, they are weavers.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they could do anything with my spider web.
Maybe.
I talked about making a rope, but if there's anything like a spider web cloak, but that's kind of what I did at Origins.
That's two different worlds, Boothby.
spider web cloak to the dark god.
They say that if you can bring them the right supplies, they can try to weave this ancient, strange, giant spider silk into a rope of unparalleled quality.
Nice.
However, it will require some supplies from the marketplace.
Okay.
And it will require some thread and some material, some additional material.
Seems worth it, as long
Okay.
as it'll hold us.
Yeah, we have problems with ropes and their quality.
Yes.
And what it will actually create, Boothby, it will create a rope, but it'll be the same rope. It'll be 50 feet of rope, but it will only take up one slot instead of two
Nice.
in the backpack
That's nice. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
because it'll be made of spider silk instead of thick hemp.
All
Keep
right.
in mind, this isn't normal spider silk. This is from a giant
Giant
spider.
silk.
Yeah, they'll help you out for free.
Did that increase the lifestyle or no?
Nope. These are friends helping out a friend. Now, granted,
So
you do have to go buy the material. That doesn't increase the
Yeah,
lifestyle.
do we want
does
to
it?
go to the temple or to the market?
Well, you can do whatever you want in whatever order you want.
I want to go to the temple.
You can do whatever you want as long as
Yeah, the shrine.
Though I feel like I should follow this,
you're not even as a party.
in our group.
You're not even together. as a
Yeah,
party.
I think we all do this.
You can all do everything you want, anything at any time.
Bob, what would be the benefit for like you going to the temple since you're not like a mage or
No, I'm not. I'm more RP going to the temple.
got it.
FPP.
Well, there's no temple, so
There's a shrine. Sorry,
yeah.
the shrine for the festival. Just something that I feel like the elf would do to honor these gods and stuff like that.
all right. Say.
Just going to the market, does that cost
Nope.
a lifestyle? No.
Lifestyle
so-
0 to go to the market.
Okay.
Yeah, what is at the market anyways? Because it's a smaller town. So what?
Yeah,
is
it's a
the
smaller
opposite?
town. So they basically have everything in the equipment guide that is OB 2 or cheaper.
Hmm.
I would like to actually start hype manning us up about bringing Kirk's body back and how great everybody is, because maybe that can get us a lower cut or lower price on items before we start buying them.
So then are you trying to haggle at the market?
Well, it's let's you're at the bar. Oh yeah, these adventurers came in. All
Well,
great.
that
you know,
is
who's
that
back.
is that is the telling tales thing, and that is its own thing in town.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Still sounds
So
sweet.
you want to go to the tavern and tell tall tales?
I also want to tell
sounds
tales
worth it.
of the other group of adventurers since they left the body there. I want to say that they killed the boy, robbed him, and left him in the hole.
Okay, so you're
Damn.
gonna
That's
do a little
rough.
do a little
Wow.
bit of lying. All right. Okay. All right.
And they
So
left the headless boy in a hole. That I'm not okay with. That.
you know what the best part is? This is a great chance for you, Urber. You ready? All right, Urber.
Yeah.
I'm increasing your lifestyle by 1.
Okay.
Okay. Reset. There we go. There we go. Adventurers can tell true or outrageous tales of their spectacular adventures in the tavern to win the respect and adulation of the clientele. The locals are always hungry for new stories. Make an orator test.
You could get your level 2 back.
But the good
I know,
news,
right?
but the good news is in like the Dwarven halls, it is ob 5 to tell tales and impress the dwarves with your stories. But here in a remote village, it is only ob 2. Now, of course, that means you cannot succeed because you're only rolling 1 dice. But maybe people can help you. Maybe your crew can support your stories. Yes.
As a peasant,
Yes.
I want to complain about the other party and their actions.
Hell yes.
Yeah, buddy. I knew you liked me. I knew you were my friend.
And I am going to spend a fate point.
Okay,
Oh.
fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, so Boothby's in the back with all the other peasants, and he's just like, they're no good. Ever since they moved in, the neighborhood's gone downhill, and, they don't mow their lawn. Look at that thing. It's just full of, where's the scythe? I had to start scything the lawn when I was 8. My dad made me start doing it when I was 8. But then he'd always come out and bitch and say, "Oh, you're not doing it right," and then he'd take the scythe from me and start doing it. And it's like, why don't you do it yourself? Anyways.
You said manipulator and orator.
And
what were the other ones?
Well, it's an orator check.
But I mean, is there helping available?
Of course, you just have to describe it in the fiction.
Can I get a gear bonus for referring back to the dead body with the missing head?
You mean to the boy?
Yeah.
Sure.
Since we brought him back and hey, we brought him back and these
Technically, it would be supplies, but yes, you can you can get a bonus from that.
Label your bodies correctly.
Correct.
yeah. I'm working on it.
GM Scott, you were trying to. How were you trying to help out?
Well, I mean, if he's up there spinning tails,
Yeah.
I think for me, not orator but manipulator might be better. Again, adding in more of the half truths. They stripped the body of all the valuables and left him there, and
Oh, perfect.
terrible.
Yep.
But actually, that's kind of true. But
that is actually true.
but
You make it sound worse than it is.
Did they push him into the pit? We don't know.
They might have killed him and put him in there. And,
Well,
They might have.
Am I able to help with my remembering as my nature?
So here's
now
the
he
thing.
wants to remember.
Well, so here's the thing about remembering. Remembering isn't like I remember what happened yesterday.
I know. That's
Remembering is like I remember 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So no.
Checks out that I'm not helping.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I had.
Okay.
Kind of twist the truths and everything in riddles and kind of get use it to like name call and to get to twist the things with like flourish as well as
to make a catchy
obscure-
little rhyme about how bad they are.
Yes.
Just like 3 or 4 lines, just something the kids can sing while they play.
Something that
particularly
character
talking
thinks
about
next time they're in town.
particularly twisting it to angle towards Sharton.
Okay.
And my brother.
Nickerby.
Yeah.
They'd be like, so
Sharton's
yeah,
saddle belly.
I'm like, yeah, they put him in the hole. He's like, yeah, they put him in the hole. I'm like, yeah, they cut his head off. Yeah, they cut his head off.
Oh, is his name Nickerby?
Yeah, Nickerby.
Oh, okay. I wrote down something else. Nickerby.
And I think I'm gonna synergize with this if I can.
Yeah, you can spend your fate point.
All right.
All right. So Erber, looks like you've got 3 dice of help for this check.
All right, so we're looking at we got 5 dice.
There you go. Versus ob 2.
Ooh, this looks good.
Hey, you did it.
There we go.
So
For 2 6s, I think.
that's right. And so yes, so not only do you succeed, but you get a pass on your orator, which you just lost. So you actually level it back up. So it's actually pretty good.
So that was a good one. All right.
So you successfully went nowhere, which is great. All right, so roll. I'm going to roll 2d6 on the successful telling tales table. There we go. 9. Toast of the town. Your reputation gets a boost. You are all granted +1 dice to all future circles tests in this town.
Nice.
So you can note that on your character sheet that you get
Does
+1.
town have a name?
Fairhill.
Fairhill. Where's our notes page?
Also, note that there is the quit your bullshit rule in effect. Every time you tell tales in a settlement, the next time you tell tales, the ob keeps getting 1 higher. So
That's actually really cool.
it's called the quit your bullshit rule.
I like that. Definitely very Luke.
Plus
Yes,
one
correct.
circles in.
In Fairhill. Yep. So basically you have you it's easier for you to find people, locate hirelings or anything like that because the people here like you've told your stories, they like the cut of your jib. Oh, you guys are the ones who rescued Kurt from that evil, horrible other party.
I found in the bio and info tab, you can edit it and put it there. If you're looking
Oh,
for
I was putting in the allies and enemies thing. That's might be a better spot. You're probably right.
Oh, in kit, there's a notes section.
Ooh.
That's where I put mine.
Kit. Oh, there. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there. Fairhill.
Fairhill, the remote village of Fairhill, aka the home of the Sheepscar family.
So +1 circle check in Fairhill.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Awesome.
All right.
I suppose now buying stuff is different. You make the test against the items,
Yep.
and then use your money this coin that we have.
Yes,
is-
and you make the checks against each individual item. Now, like some of the things come in a stack. Like you don't buy a torch, right? You buy a stack of 4 torches.
Gotcha.
Some torches we need.
Yeah, so anything ob 2 or lower is available. So torches are available, candles are available, rations available, wine is available, iron spikes, a hammer, but you couldn't buy, say, thieves' tools. You couldn't buy a roll, and also too, most weapons are ob 3, so you can't really buy them. You could buy
Crap.
you could buy
Herbert needs something, doesn't he?
you could buy you could buy helmet and leather armor. Those are the 2 things that you can buy from an armor perspective.
I have a dagger. I'm good
Okay.
All
because
right.
I can keep it around my neck, so it gives me and that's really the only thing that you can keep around your neck weapon wise.
Mhm.
So it gives me the ability to carry more.
Yeah, the
And I
only
don't have to
the only
use my
weapon you
hands.
could buy here is like a flail and a mace and a dagger.
I mean, that's
Oh,
not nothing.
Oh, and a staff and a spear. Basically, really simple weapons.
yeah.
How about a chrysoprase ring?
No chrysoprase rings.
Darn it.
No chrysoprase rings.
And then the haggler thing with
Yeah.
Herbert.
So if you make the haggler check, if you choose to do it, what you could basically do is kind of go to the market and try to strike a successful deal. If you succeed, it can give you benefit. And one of the big benefits that you get is that you can get better deals on loot that you're trading in. You guys aren't trading in loot. So it's really hard to make money worth more than money. But like it's one of those things where it's like if you brought back a gem and it's worth like 4 dice, you might be able to get 6 dice for it or 7 dice for it if you haggle it really well. But you guys don't have anything like that, so it's kind of not as useful.
This
Next
coin was
time.
double struck at the mint and therefore is worth a lot more money.
Okay. Well, I want to make sure we have. I think the next big thing we need is torches. We have 2, and we probably need.
Yeah, so each stack of torches is ob 2 to buy, which means you need to now. So again, if you have 0 resources, you would need you could spend 1 dice of treasure and you'd roll 1 dice, you would fail, and if you succeeded with that d6, you would have failed by 1, which means you still get the torches because the tax was 1 and you spent 1 dice of treasure. But if you rolled 0, then you failed by 2 and you only spent 1 dice of treasure, which means now you can't pay for it and there's a consequence. Like they might say, get out of here. What are you trying to do? You're trying to like scam me out of these torches. You don't even have money and you can't pay for it after the fact. So it's like you have to put the money up before you make the roll. In other words, if you spend 2 dice of treasure, basically you can guarantee to buy it.
Gotcha.
Because
But
even
then
if
you
you
lose it.
but then those two dice of treasure are gone.
And
Or
they're not. They can't be used for the thing for our.
lifestyle. Right.
Alright.
No, you're spending it
But
there
we,
and
but
now.
we need these torches.
Yeah. So he has his money from home.
Yeah.
The last little token gift from his parents.
Now the good news is if you succeed at the resources check and your resource is 0, your resources does go to 1 automatically. So
Oh, nice. All right. So I'm going to spend my personal wealth.
got it. So you're spending your 2 dice?
Yep.
All right, roll 2d6 against ob2. So what you do is you make so you roll resources, and then for supplies, or you would put in 2, and the ob is 2, and then roll it. Because if you pass, if you get 2 successes, your resources will go up to 1.
2v2.
2v2. So you have a 25% chance.
Hey, there you
I rolled that wrong.
Nope, you rolled it wrong. You did it as a versus.
Oh.
Independent?
Yep.
Okay. That's what. All right.
Yep. All right. So you failed by 2, but you used 2 dice of treasure. So that counts as a failure, which doesn't do anything to your resources. Basically, they're not going to extend you credit because you're just like, hey, it's 2 gold. And you're like, okay, here's your 2 gold. Like, they're just like, you just paid for what it was worth. But you do gain a freshum stack of lovely, delicious torches.
So we're at a total of.
There you go.
Me personally, I just need a helmet.
Well,
And then I'll carry whatever else anybody needs me to carry.
Well, that's 1 stack of torches, which Sadak already snatched up.
Oh.
No, I like that. I think just keeping that way, people know what everybody
Gotcha.
what you have, and it's just like that, and then you can kind of distribute it as a gear for that.
Yeah, because we have to rearrange anyway to make it fit on our sheets.
All right. Anybody else want to go? Remember, you guys.
Yeah, I'll
We
go.
need more torches, don't we?
Sure. I'm just saying, like, this is your time. This is your guys' town phase and your money to spend. So
I'm just trying to see how many torches we went in last time.
you guys probably had about like 14, 16 torches.
I had 4. I think I had 8.
Is it?
We got a
It's not
lot.
possible to make torches.
Of course, it's possible to make torches.
Probably a peasant check. That would increase my lifestyle by 1. But I mean,
I'd like to buy a helmet.
Okay.
How much is it?
The ob to buy a helmet is 2. Now,
2.
Yeah.
All right, I got 2 dice of my leftover
Your personal coin.
personal coin.
Okay.
And then I have a resource rating of 1.
Right. So what you'll do is you'll make a resource check,
Nope.
and you're going to do this against. It's an independent roll against ob 2, and then you're going to add 2 dice of gear and supplies because you're using up your coin, which I will delete from your character sheet. And now you're 3 dice of versus 2.
Can I use a trait? Is that an option?
On resource checks, I don't think so. I don't
How
remember.
about my
Well, maybe explain the trait.
cunning?
Oh, yeah, that sounds okay.
I'm fast talking them.
Yeah. Okay, that actually makes sense.
Can I also use negotiator might, because I mean it's literally what I'm doing.
Well, negotiator isn't a trait.
My nature.
But when you have this is a resource check, so you can't use you have because you have resources. So
Just making sure.
Yep. All right. So roll your 4 dice.
Let's go.
If you get
Holy
2.
shit, no.
What?
Dang.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you rolled 2 nat ones.
At least you put 2 in there.
But because you put in 2, you don't get taxed. And that means that you pay for it, but it's basically kind of like an even Stevens transaction. It's not going to help your credit rating, but it also doesn't hurt you. And bloop, a new helmet is added to the party's acquisitions.
Where my hand
Nice.
at?
I put it over here.
Oh, I got you.
Is anybody tracking our gold expenditure?
Well, yeah, it's on.
It's right there on it. It's on the.
Off the map.
Yeah, this is just our own person. I had a bag of gold with 2
Well,
dice on me.
Tim or Bob, all the gold left in the party is at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you taking away every time people spend it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was double checking. I'm like, I can't tell if I'm losing and tracking it. I'm like,
Nope.
we don't just start spending it.
Nope,
So
you guys are down to 11 coin because
Okay.
because Sadak and Erber both spent their personal stash of coins.
Now I understand. Okay.
Yeah. So we walked in with a total of 14 torches.
Load them up.
Wow.
Well, right now you guys have 6, and that's including the ones you just bought.
Yep. I have 2 on me, and then we have 4 we just bought. So
It's
we need some
candle time. No, I'm just kidding.
more. No, unless we want Amos to be lighting in every session and
Yeah.
burdening himself.
You're like, that's way easier.
That's what he does.
All right. Who else needs to make checks?
I've got a couple to make. At
Yeah,
some
please.
point.
I mean, guys, it's just There's no.
Yeah, Scott's gonna do
So-
some scrolling.
Yeah. Scrolling.
So,
So
we didn't
I
get any
need to.
bonuses. Sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
Oh, that's right. I need to memorize ethereal appendage instead of premonition.
Okay, well, that means you have to release.
At least a flop house. Yeah, or I have to release what I got in my mind now.
Right. That's a check though, right?
To release?
Yeah, doesn't it like it can blow back and blow you up?
Rough day.
Yeah, what was it? Retribution? No.
Right. Scroll.
Or get a spell.
Temerious
Oh.
Discharge.
That's it.
You unbind all spells stored in your memory palace, seeking to channel the energy through your body and hopefully harmlessly out into the ether. To do this without ill effect, you must pass a will test with an obstacle equal to the sum of the circles being discharged. It does not cost a turn or cost a check, so this does not include lifestyle. But basically, you're going to make a will ob 1.
Yep.
Yep.
So will, this is independent against ob 1.
I mean, it's a nice way to pick up a pass on your will. One, presumably.
Yeah, 0 turn of the grind.
Yeah, you can't just rememorize spells in Torchbearer. Once it's in your palace, you either have to cast it or you have to release the energy, and you could potentially, quote, you could suffer aetheric burns and become injured. You could twist a hole in space and time.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right, so it's just independent will against ob 1.
Yep.
I'm not going to put anything else against it.
Yep.
And so I'm going to roll.
Okay.
And I see a 6.
All right, so
Cool.
there you go. So mark a pass for your will. And you
right.
successfully discharge your memory palace, which is now empty. So you have one slot available.
Excellent.
In your memory slot. Now, you get to memorize spells for free if you stay at the flop house.
Right. Yep, which is where I'm going to have to stay.
Okay.
Now, I also saw that there was a guild house requirement for scribing.
Right. The
Not a
good news is
requirement, but-
there is no guild here, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
It's actually a problem because when a guild has control in a town, you basically have to pay extra
Extra tax,
to use their facilities. Otherwise, they
I
can come
saw
after
that.
you. Yeah. So, but there's no guild here. So,
Okay. So yeah, I'd like to memorize ethereal appendage and then scribe that.
okay. Well, so you get to memorize, I believe. Yep. Make a lore master test with an obstacle equal to the sum of the circles of the spells you wish to memorize.
Okay.
Now, going to the flop house does take a lifestyle, I think, right?
That's what
The
you said,
flop
yeah.
house itself, yeah.
So we're at a total of Carnless 1, Amos 2, Herber 1, Tane 2.
It's whatever's on the
Yeah,
Oh,
looks
hit-
like
So
we have
you're
5.
Whatever's
guys'
on the screen.
your guys' hit points are what your lifestyle
Yeah.
cost is.
Yeah, he put it above our heads.
oh.
Yeah. Nice.
It's memorized.
So you memorize.
You look like you do something now.
Well,
All
only
right.
when no one's looking.
Yes. All right. So you place what'd you put? Ethereal appendage
Yes.
into your memory palace. Okay. Now
Okay,
you
now
can
for the fun
remove.
part.
Now you can remove that spell from your memory palace by casting it, by discharging it, or by scribing the spell as a scroll.
And that is what I'd like to do. As
All
many
right.
as I can for the one check.
Well, unfortunately, I think it's just one.
Okay.
You can make multiple scrolls if you have multiple spells in your brain,
Okay.
But-
okay.
but you don't. Each scroll holds a single spell. It takes up one slot in your inventory. Memorize the spells. You must have the spell memorized. You must test the scholar chest against the obstacle. Creating it in camp costs a check. In town, it costs a personal business +1. A character with the scholar skill is assumed to have +1. But yeah. But you know what? We'll make this a little saucy. If you increase the ob by 1, I'll let you make 2.
Can I apply my thoughtful trait and take my time doing it?
Absolutely.
All right. I will use that to my benefit. Do I have to wait? How do I do that? Is that Fate or Persona?
Neither.
Oh, good. Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to make a scholar test.
Yeah.
And this does count as personal business. So I'm going to increment.
Against ob 2.
And you are making a scholar check against ethereal appendage, which has a scribe cost of 2, scholar 2. And then you are going to increase the ob to 3 if you want, optionally, to create 2 scrolls from it.
Oh yeah, it's not the circle, it's that ob. Okay, so maybe just one,
Okay.
because I don't think I'm going to be that lucky.
Okay.
All right, so let's give this a shot. See if I can write a scroll here.
Well, before you make it, does anybody want to help
Yeah.
GM Scott?
What
Oh,
can
yeah.
I do to help with?
Great question. Again, you remember, you can always describe how you're helping, but in the role of the game, steward, lore master, and scholar can help people with scholar checks.
Where's the steward check? That's where it's used for.
Can I do scavenger to try to scavenge up some material for him?
You know what? He does need inks, quills, and brushes, and you're in town, so yeah. Okay, I'll let you help with scavenger.
Perfect.
Herber's
I
just
will also help.
Herber's just a street rat. All right, GM Scott,
Yeah.
you don't have anything good, but Ryan and Laughing Out Loud, Herber and Sadak are able to come up and they're like, "Don't ask where I got this," and they're like,
We're supposed to be good
2-8.
here, not bad.
"All right." So yeah, so 2 dice.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if I should now with all this extra stuff, if I should make a
I
second.
don't
scroll.
suppose I could assist with ritualist.
No, because I'm allowing scavenger.
Okay.
So I probably would have, but I'm only allowed to add 1 skill to the check. So otherwise, now you need lore master or steward.
All right, there's one last thing I have to check. So deeper understanding, luck, and of course, okay, so I do have buffers. I am going to try and add in another ob to create a second scroll.
Okay, so it's going to be ob 3.
Yep, so 5 dice versus ob 3.
Okay.
And I do have a persona waiting around if I need it.
To do what?
I think it's what, of course.
That's only if you have a will or a wise that you could use.
Oh, okay. Advantage is if I get a D6, right?
You can
Or a
spend.
6.
You can spend. Wait. What are you talking about?
I'm looking at ways to spend persona points.
There
I
are-
have written down advantage, channel your nature, and of course.
Yes. Advantage gives you +1 die per persona point.
And is that after the fact?
Nope. It's
Of
before.
course not.
No, it's yeah, it's all on your again, you follow the columns on your character sheet or on the roll sheet, and you start from the top left and you go down. So when you get to the so at the before you hit the roll button, there's that persona and you can spend it.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I'll spend a persona. Why not? I need to spend them to level anyway, right?
That is true. Now, alternatively, you could channel your nature, and that'll add like 4 or 5 dice. But
How would I channel my nature?
you
That
wouldn't.
would
It's not
be-
boasting, demanding, or running, which means you are
No.
outside of your nature, which means
Yep.
you will tax your nature.
Yeah, I think I'm good with this.
Okay. 6 dice.
All right, let's see what we do.
Bloop.
Oh, so close.
All
Is
right.
there a 6?
There
is at 6.
So you can spend a fate point, which you do not have.
Don't have
as soon
any.
as you exploded. All right. So I'm going to not twist you. You're going to succeed, Tane.
Okay.
But long hours of scribing the scrolls and trying to make it into something leaves you weary and exhausted.
Oh man. Working with these substandard materials.
Hey, I'm doing my best here. This is the best area to find stuff.
You sent an illiterate dwarf to go find you writing materials. What were you thinking?
I am not illiterate in dwarven.
I must think in Dwarven. All right, so that was a scholar roll that I
Failed. Yes,
So
but
hey, that's good.
that is good. But I am going to give you. You're going to get a scroll, or 2 scrolls.
Excellent.
But it'll be but at the cost of you obviously picking up exhausted. It's long work, long hours, burning the midnight oil. This is no modern RPG scribing. It's a lot of work.
So then you
The-
also said I was exhausted and
Just exhausted.
oh, okay.
Herber, I
Sure.
think we need more torches. And you're the best one at spending our money.
Just a lot. Okay, what do you need? Just tell me what you need me to do and I can do it.
Well, I think we should spend more of this gold and another stack at least. And then we should really consider maybe getting out of here.
We need this torch barge, Derek, from the Forbidden Lands campaign that Smith always kept grabbing all the torches from.
All players.
Barge of torches. That's all they sell.
Because right now, if I understand correctly, we have a total of 6
Yes.
lifestyle amongst us all.
Mm-hmm.
And
I need to spend one at least more
yeah. And
Yep.
so we have
because I haven't done anything for myself yet.
Right. So
And I have to memorize a spell too.
Oh,
I don't know if
gosh.
that takes a lifestyle though. Does
It sure does.
Of course it does.
I wanted to actually go to find a way of crafting and putting these freaking candles on the helmet this time.
Oh, you're gonna have a really hard time with that
Yeah.
in this dinky little village
Yeah.
that doesn't
Oh, they
even
don't
have.
have a blacksmith or
Yeah,
anything?
I mean, not really, not like in the way that you would need it. They have a guy who can make horseshoes. You know.
Okay, gotcha.
I think we spend one more
We need torches. We need
one
torches.
more stack of coins on gold on torches, and then we just do the lifestyles that we need to do still,
And then
we get out of here and just
Yeah,
and then
hopefully-
head back to the dungeon, everybody.
I
Yep,
need to
go get more gold.
recover from my exhaustion too.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Yep,
Then
which I just got.
Well, the good news is,
Yeah.
Tane, you did stay at the flop house because you already
Okay.
paid for that. And by staying at the flop house, you get 1 free recovery check,
Ah, okay.
That'd be good.
and you can make a free recovery test against either angry, afraid, exhausted, or injured. So if you want, you can make that
Nice.
check right now. It's free.
Health ob 3.
Health ob 3,
Oof.
and no one can help you.
and your cloak helps you, I believe.
Against
Right.
exhausted.
Yes, because you were wearing
Okay.
it while you were doing, including recovery tests. So, yep.
All right. Now I have to go hover over that cloak. Oh, wow. What just happened to the UI?
Yeah, how much is a cloak?
That is a great question. I don't have an immediate answer.
Not
for you.
worth as
Op
much as
2.
torches.
Looks like-
Here's the biggest cost for Urber. It requires a back slot.
Well, I can always switch them out when I need to recover. You know, I'm in town. I just switch out the armor from the cloak.
The cloak is
Get
ob
in my
2. The cloak is
Oh,
ob
it can be
2.
bought.
Yeah, so they do have cloaks here. All right, Tane.
So I can say, put that under other dice then.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter actually where it goes, but yeah.
Okay.
Technically, it's gear, but
All right. Well, let's see what we got. 4 dice against 3.
stranger things have
Wow.
happened.
That's
Hey!
how you do it, dude.
All right, Tane, you get, after very long hours of scribing scrolls, maybe you spend a whole day and a night, you finally literally flop down in the flop house and you sleep like you haven't slept in ages, and you awake with no exhaustion.
Fantastic.
All right.
Now I just have to memorize that spell.
All right, well, Tane, take another lifestyle. Bloop. And Tane, go ahead and make a lore master check. What are you going to add to your memory palace?
I am going to add Wizard's Aegis, which to learn, no, to scribe.
Nope. It's the lore master check to.
Oh, it's just per
circle. It's just the circle.
per circle. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lore Master 4 versus Ob 1.
Yep.
So here we go. And it's Wizard's Aegis.
There you go.
There we
There
go.
you go. Okay. And now Wizard's
Excellent.
Aegis is added to your memory palace. All right. You guys have been yelling at Urber to go buy torches. So
Yes, we need torches.
All right.
I might have to make this test while, or we can do. Dennis can do his thing real quick.
yeah, Dennis.
Amos,
Amos, what do you want to go
put
do?
his food in his mouth.
Thanks for that, Bob.
Yeah, hey, look ready.
All right, Amos, you're going to pray at the shrine.
Pray the shrine.
Okay. Let me bring that up. All right, Amos, you make your way to the shrine to the immortals. It is decorated, celebrating the planting season here in the spring, as everyone is getting ready to give thanks to the Lord of Harvests, and they're hoping for a bountiful season, that there will be a great harvest. Of course, this is a very important time. You and your family have celebrated this as long as you can possibly remember. So the rites are very well known to you. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the ob here is 1 lower.
All right. Yeah, it would normally be 2. Now it's 1.
Correct. Now, so I'm going to let you do 2 things here. I'm going to let you, do your immortal burden, but I'm also going to let you attempt to make an offering at the shrine, which is a thing that anyone could do. For example, Bob could go do this if he wanted to.
What can I offer?
But you get to do it with the same lifestyle cost. All right.
What are offerings? Like, what are typical offerings?
Well, you would probably be offering nothing because you have nothing to offer.
What if I want to put one of these rations out?
Okay. Well, you tell me
Maybe
what you're
just
doing.
Yeah, but I believe it would cost you a lifestyle.
Oh, it definitely costs lifestyle.
Don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
And I want to, but I'm not.
Amos, should you be at 2 or 1
2 or 1 what?
lifestyle?
I am at 2 currently.
Okay. So Sadok is really at 0?
Yeah, I've
He's a freeloader.
Okay. Well,
Throwing it
you know
all
what?
off on us.
The minimum Sadok is 1.
no.
You can't not pay lifestyle. Okay, so Boothby, first you want to purge here?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a theologian test.
Yep.
You said 1 less ob.
Yep.
This is a actual shrine, so I get a +1 bonus for that.
Yep. But since this is you always get that, but because this is your personal home shrine, that's why the ob is lower.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, 3 dice versus ob 1.
Okay, perfect.
Got this.
Are you touched by the gods?
Yes, that's right. There was something I knew I was forgetting. Yeah. Yes.
Don't worry. You're in town phase. I'm being nice.
Yeah.
In the adventure phase, get fucked.
Touch this.
All right.
All right, there you go.
All right, Mark, your
You got it.
pass, and you get to purge, I think, all your burden, right?
It is. Reduce your burden by 1 plus margin of success.
Which
so-
is 2. You
Yeah.
beat it by 2. Or you beat it by
Beautiful.
1, so you get 2.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
which is the minimum of what I need.
Correct. However, in addition, you can make an offering to the Lords of Plenty and Want for free because you're already here. So go ahead and make the offering. This is a theologian test, and normally it would be ob 3, but it's going to be ob 2 for you, Boothby. Now you don't have to make this test, but this is like when you go to the shrine and like anyone's like offering them, prayers and thanks, not really to cure your burden, but to actually like pray to the gods.
All right.
Would you like some bread of the body?
So you said an independent theologian versus what?
Ob 2. And Bob is suggesting that you leave some of the slaughtered meat as an offering to the gods.
It's what I would have done if I wanted the paid lifestyle.
I was touched by the gods. I am the sacrifice.
There you go. He says,
Oh.
all right. So I take it. I take it.
Sadok is brushing his head, like the sweat off his head at the idea of like spending that food.
Well, what if I fail this check?
We'll find out together.
Oh, I see a 5.
Oh,
No.
no.
Well, the good news is you failed.
Right. The good news is my theologian has just gone up.
Hey, you failed theologian. That's great. It goes up immediately. Failure brings a condition and a roll on the table, or twist. The immortals are deaf to your feeble cries. So, Boothby, I'm going to be somewhat nice to you here. So you are only made hungry and thirsty. For they do not eat of the body, instead they eat of your body, and you are left drained and famished, and you are hungry and thirsty. However, as a result, you get to roll on the immortal omens table. Roll a d6, and hope
Oh, that sounds like fun.
hope you roll a
That's
d6,
six.
and hope you roll a 6.
That's 6.
Hold on.
It's just typing. It's like.
I mean, there's literally a button you can push for the die too.
Yeah, it's in the top left corner. You just you hover over that dice, you click
Okay,
it,
good.
and then you can just click D6.
Because things got weird in my.
2.
That doesn't look good.
I don't know if blow is good.
All right.
Dragon Bane.
Perhaps driven by the lack of food, you are granted the Huntress's wisdom, Boothby. You get to, the next time you make an outdoors camp event roll, you add +1 to that result, which means you'll get a better result.
Sweet.
but that lasts forever. So note that, and
Oh, wow.
the next
Wow.
time when you make an outdoor camp event roll,
So-
add +1.
So it's one time.
It's one time, add +1 to your next camp event roll. But it could be this session, 3 sessions from now, 5 sessions from now. You have the Huntress's wisdom.
Thankfully, our awesome super secret camp is outdoor.
That is true. But you don't, typically that right, exactly. So when you make camp there and we add roll on the camp event table, you'll get a +1 to that. But if you were to do that in your camp that you have down in the web-filled spider webs,
yeah.
that
There's
would not
literally no
succeed.
reason to use that camp anymore.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Just because you have fast travel doesn't mean you can always fast travel, James Scott.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, please.
And then I guess the only other thing I want to do is marketplace for those weaving materials.
Oh yes. Okay. Ob1.
All right.
To buy
With
these
money.
supplies for the weaver. So you need to make an Ob1 resource check, which you have 0. So you have to spend 1 value of coin.
I will spend 1 value
Unless
of
you,
my
unless you want me to do it, and I got an
private
automatic
stash.
1 resource.
Okay, yeah, because you have 2 dice of personal cash, right, Boothby?
Right.
So I'll reduce that down to 1 dice, and so roll d6. Or technically make a resource roll with 0 dice and add 1 supply, but you could also just roll a d6 if you want to be quick about it. The good news is if you pass this, your resources goes to 1.
So resource die, independent, Ob1 with
Yes.
a resource.
Yep. Oh, and
Supply.
Erber can help you
I got a resource for you,
because
buddy.
he has 1 in resource, so he can actually help you buy stuff.
All right. So 2 dice versus Ob1.
Yep, 2 dice versus Ob1. 1 from help, 1 from your
Ooh, you
buddy.
needed it too.
Hey, all right. So not only do you buy the weaving supplies, but the people here trust you, and you have your money's good here, and so your resources
He
goes up to
actually
1.
comes back to town.
Yeah, he actually comes back to that. So your resources goes from 0 to 1. So your resources goes up, and you have the weaver materials, which means they make you the super rope.
Ooh, nice. We're gonna need a 16-bit for that.
And that did increase my lifestyle by 1 for the
Nope, shopping does not increase your lifestyle.
purification does.
Correct. I think we already did that, didn't we?
No.
Or no, we didn't. Okay, so you should be ob or 3.
3.
Okay. No.
So what's the ratio for money compared to what we're looking at? For,
Well, if this is rope money right here that I'm moving around, we
No, my
have-
rope money was taken out of my stash.
Sorry, I mean not rope money. Torch money that I've moved off to the side.
The one over
Alright.
to the left.
This is what we've got. Otherwise, it's 60. Well,
4, 6, 7, 8. We got
60.
9 dice.
yeah.
But we got
well,
one more torch to buy.
Yeah. And I think rather than you buy it, I should buy it, because if I buy it and succeed with your help, they
Yeah.
also may start to trust me.
Right, and then
And you need to use the lifestyle because your default is 1 anyway.
Well,
Not if you buy stuff.
no,
Right.
this isn't buying. This isn't gonna raise it.
Oh, never mind. Well, do you want to do anything else since you could do something?
I need to rest.
He needs to
recover,
rest.
and I would like to buy a cloak. If that. if we have
I
the-
don't think we have the money for cloak.
Well, that's if we fail, though, right?
No, we don't. We lose the money regardless.
Yep, you always lose the money, even if you
You
fail.
always lose money. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, if you fail, but if you pass,
You pass, you lose the money.
you do. Okay.
All right. And can I eat this one little lone reserve ration and get rid of my hungry and thirsty?
If
Sure.
you have it, yep.
It's yours.
All right. Go for your roll, Ryan. And actually, you can get help from Boothby too, because he got a resource now too.
Is it true?
It did, but yeah, you can get help from Boothby now. Yep, that's actually true.
Okay. Independent ob 2. 3. This is a 2, so it's 4 versus 2.
Wait, are you not spending any coin?
Oh, I'm the right here, right? This is 2, right?
I don't know what this means.
The ob is 2, right?
Yes, but you're rolling 4 dice.
2 for help.
Yep.
2 for the coin against ob 2.
These gold coins right here.
Yeah.
Okay, deleted. Okay, Go for it. If you get
There we
this,
go.
your resources goes up.
Perfect.
Hey, perfect. All right, so you make good, and they sell you another bundle of torches, and your resources goes up to 1.
Excellent.
That's actually pretty good.
All right.
Yeah,
What do I
much
need to
better.
do to? What do I need to do to get rid of the exhausted?
You need to go stay at the flop house, or sleep on the streets, or but then it'll cost you lifestyles. Basically, what it comes down to.
Okay, so which one would give me a bigger benefit?
I don't think it really matters because if you sleep on the streets, you potentially, I think, can like end up sick and dying. So you may not want to do that.
I just got rid of that.
Now, is there something
To
that
try
can
and
be
heal him
done?
again.
Now he doesn't have a cloak. Could he say borrow a cloak?
No, no.
We all
No.
sit around the fire and share the one cloak.
Yeah.
If you
Alright.
sleep in the stables, it still costs 1, so it doesn't matter. But
Health. The health check. Nobody can help me with that.
nope,
Two.
nope, you're on your own.
Op 2.
It's whatever it says it is. It's on the thing
Think
here.
about three.
It's ob 3.
3. Health. Can I use my Born of Earth and Stone to
Oh,
fight
yeah.
back? the
Oh
cold?
yes. Well, it's not the cold; it's just exhaustion.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Op 2.
Could he spend fate or persona in any way to help him potentially?
It depends. If he,
Well, I got 6 against 3 right now, so I mean, we'll see what happens. I might have to like spend it,
all right.
and it looks
Nice.
like I.
Hey.
Oh, I made it.
Nice.
That's
See it.
awesome.
So make sure to mark a pass for your health because that was a past health test. So you get a pass on your health, and you eliminate exhausted.
I am. All right, I am doing nothing from so
Yeah.
I don't freaking
Okay.
lose anything.
And then Erber, that was your lifestyle, so you're at 2. Okay. Sadok, you're gonna get hit with 1 regardless of what you do, so you
Yeah.
might as well do something.
Something. I want to.
Yeah, it's called the toll gate. The
Yes.
minimum lifestyle cost is always 1. There's always some sort of fine, toll, or tithe to pay.
And it's not +1. It's always just
No, it's just
1.
1. Yeah.
Okay. I wrote. Is there a way I could just like scavenge for some stuff? Like more, maybe what are we thinking we're needing?
Yeah, you could try scavenging.
More
Just
torches.
Scavenge for
more food.
torches.
Is that what we think we need more torches more than anything? Yeah, right. So
I mean, we got pretty good amount of food, I think.
Yeah, because you can stretch the food, right?
right.
Yeah, so torches are light is pretty much our biggest.
Especially with those fresh rations, he can
Yeah.
feed all of us with them.
Yeah, so he's gonna spend his time he's like, this is not enough. We need more torches. I
Yep.
gotta do it myself.
You know, it's like
They need me.
it's like you know what it's like. It's like when you take the little like slivers of soap and you start like combining them into
Oh, yeah.
one bar of soap. You know, when you
Yep.
breaking the torch.
Really thinning that oil out.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
you're just
really
like
stretching it out.
you know, like you're like, don't they threw this away? Look, there's still 5 seconds of torch left in this thing. Like,
So how long does the
That
torch last?
toothpaste Real.
a torch lasts 2 turns.
Okay. No one has a lantern, right? Because I've got this lantern oil and it lasts 3 turns, but yeah, you have to have a lantern.
Right. Well, you can't buy a lantern here; it's too high of an ob.
Okay.
However, the good news is scavenging for tools or gear is a 2, ob 2.
Nice.
But when you're near town, the ob bonus is 0. So, in other words, it's you know, if you try to do it in a dungeon or ruins, it's like +3.
Oh,
plus
so it just
2.
stays at 2.
It just
Okay.
stays at 2, and then it's a common item, so it stays at 2. So there you go.
So
it's
it's your
ob,
scavenge versus that.
Yep.
Okay.
Scavenge.
And-
I'd like to.
and you can also be remember anybody can help with this with scavenger or scout.
Oh, well.
Hmm.
Scout. See,
Scavenger.
I'm scout in training. Can I follow along and watch?
What's your scout rating?
I have 1 beginner's luck.
No,
tip.
you
Yeah.
cannot. You cannot.
This is my town. Can I aid with peasant?
Yes.
We can like you. It's like this is not a torch, but this broken chair leg could be
Retrofit.
I know old man McGillicuddy. He doesn't need this wood anymore. We can take it.
Absolutely. You could totally help
So
with
I was
peasant.
thinking you're using the tools around the town. I was thinking more in the wilderness. I might go look out for some sizable branches that might have fallen that I could wrap around.
Right. So this is just some super ghetto torch.
The one I'm giving you is a little crooked.
It really has more to do with the
and then
oil
everyone
and the rags.
sees this and it starts bringing supplies.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
using a fate point on this.
Does this one work?
Okay.
I am too, on Scout.
You're
This
using
is
this on
like-
Scout. Okay. So it sounds like you're being helped by everybody, Ryan?
Nah,
Yeah, and I'm
No,
I'm
not-
tapping
not
into
me.
my
Not GM Scott.
Not GM
I
Scott.
got other stuff to do.
I'm tapping into my quick wit to put these together.
Okay.
For me +1.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
I've got help of 3,
Yep.
Three. Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Yep. Everybody's helping. In fact, 2 people are using synergy. So
and it's a 2.
it's
Oh,
not.
I'm
it's-
using synergy for sure, 100%.
This is a stone soup torch if I ever heard one.
Yeah. Right. All right. The whole party scatters around the town and starts looking for odd bits of wood and cloth, and it's all
Anything for Sadak.
yeah. It's all hands operation. And then like Sadak is over there like with his gloves on. He's like,
Yeah, right.
random stick, it's a piece of cloth.
MacGyver.
Yeah. He's like,
Torn pants,
yeah.
torn
Torn.
shirt sleeves.
Kurt's old leg sleeve shorts.
Amos shows up. Amos shows up with like shards of strips of his baby's blanket. You know, he's like,
I
he's
was gonna
like-
say shards of Narcia.
so. All right, Ryan, give it a roll.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. You know what? And you beat
like
the
it.
obstacle by 1, so I'm gonna give you an almost complete stack of torches.
I like it.
We've never been so happy to make torches in our life.
That synergy increased my Scout to the next level.
Sweet. All right. So erase all your passes and fails, and then go to edit mode and boop, take it up to the next level. Sick.
That was a success. So I am so close.
All right. Good deal.
Now I'm not trying to push anyone here, but the real treasure is back in the dungeon.
Yeah, we need to.
Or the
like,
friends we made along the way.
But the real
Yeah.
challenge is getting out of town.
Did someone buy a large sack?
No, I took that out of my inventory.
Oh, okay. You don't have room for it anymore.
No, I really don't. I didn't have a need for it because
I'll take it.
the dwarf carries 2. Yeah, I figured someone would grab it. And we have that 2 things of oil, which I don't know if you guys can swap for it or do something with it. Someone wants to carry it. I just don't have room.
I'll take it. I mean, I got all this room now, so
All right.
where's it at?
Well, there's only one problem. Where is all that? Those extra slots are only there, Erber, because
I know. Well,
if
yeah,
you're
I'm
carrying
not
the
even
torch.
Yeah, I'm not even focused on those right now.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
focused
okay. Just what
on,
you're.
like these. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, got it.
I know those sacks are gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have 2 large sacks, Erber?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
have labor, so the goal is to fill both of them up, and
And double hand them. I got it. I got it. Okay.
Yep.
yeah, but I mean that was the goal in the first place, and then I got rid of one to put food in there, and now yeah.
Right.
For
I
some
also
reason,
And that spider silk rope is still sitting out there. We don't want to leave that behind.
right.
No, and I have
I
one
got it.
slot for sure that can take up.
Hey,
Also
you took my rope.
Okay, well, sorry, I said it was out there. I didn't know you want to carry it.
I was getting rid of my spider web.
Okay.
oh yeah, the spider web was
I
consumed.
want my lint back.
It is available. Remember, you can put your lint in the pocket.
Yeah, I went to the wrong one.
There you go.
I have 2 water containers, but I only have 1 water jug. I don't know what happened to the other water jug.
It must have gotten thrown away. Sorry.
Maybe.
Delete.
Can you delete that 1 container then right there?
I will.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So there's a bunch of water. If you guys need it, you can refill all bottles, water skins, jugs with water.
All right. Well, I can take one of these torches.
I should also note when you pay your lifestyle, you cannot help with that. You're on your own for that.
Bastard. You taking all of
Wait,
them?
so it's not a
Oh.
group thing then?
Nope. It's each of you individually.
I'll take this 3-bagger.
You're all responsible for your own debts.
Who needs the food? Because I can take 1.
I think that has to be separated, and then another one has to go to Amos.
Amos has got some room. He's also got some belt pouches too.
Cool.
Okay, good. That's everything then.
I,
Okay.
Oh,
it
I-
looks
you
like
know-
our Bags are
Actually-
full.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
get.
look at that. Look at
Same
that.
problem we had when we
Which means
left
we
for the
can't
dungeon
carry
the
loot.
first time.
I'm gonna. Now I'll keep it just in case. I had the quiver of bolts for the thing, but you never know what I could use it for.
All
I
right,
use
you
it-
could, yeah, you know what? You could all you. I mean, think about it this way: you used your crossbow to disable a trap. So I'm
Right,
sure,
yeah.
I'm sure you could come up with something interesting for that. Okay, Kurt's body has been returned to his family, and then you guys, everyone got all the water that they wanted.
Yeah.
I got all the water I could carry.
All right, fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay, well, it's not quite the it's not quite the wine laden thing that you had before, but all things considered, you guys are doing pretty well. Obviously, you guys spent a lot of your money, but Amos has still got a little bit of coin in his pocket, and some of you still have a couple of keepsakes from your family's heritage. Sounds like you guys are ready now that you've spent all your money to leave town.
And spend the rest of our money.
Right. So, paying your bills. Leaving in town incurs expenses, bills, and taxes to pay. When leaving town, one pays debts, total lifestyle accommodations from services and personal business. To clear your debts and pay your bills, make a resource test with an obstacle equal to your total lifestyle cost. Resource tests for lifestyle must be made individually by each player. Adventurers can spend any remaining loot around, but they cannot help each other on this test. So, yeah, kind of divide up the money as you guys see fit, and then we'll start making checks. So let's go.
If that works the same way as purchasing.
That's the
Sadak
best
needs a
way to-
1 above him.
I don't. I have a resource of 1.
Oh,
He's relying on that roll.
Now, if you fail, Ryan, that resource could be taxed, and then it would go back down to 0.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay. Basically, they're like, "Hey, this guy's good for his money," and he's like, "I gotta get out of town." Like,
That is the typical halfling. I mean, he's
they're
playing
like,
a character.
"Damn him."
I mean, the reality is it's the only way to divide it up to have it make any sense. I believe.
Well, here's the thing. So let's take Tane, for example. Tane has a 3 lifestyle, so the ob is going to be 3. Now, if Tane rolls 0 successes, he will have failed by 3. But he has 3 dice of treasure assigned to him, so that 3 dice of treasure will absorb that margin of failure of 3.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say Tane had 2 dice of treasure. Well, now he's going to roll 2 dice. But if he gets 1 success, he will have only failed by 2. And his 2 dice of treasure will absorb that failure. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So the way you have it assigned right now for like Tane, for example, guarantees that he cannot fail. But but that's assuming he rolls 0 successes.
Could we split up this gold?
Yep, gold can be split.
So then me and
Okay.
Herbert each get 1.
Yeah, if you guys want to.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean,
But-
you could also do it equivalently like that. Right? Because Amos is getting 2 dice, Tane is getting 2 dice. That's if you split the gold, right?
So ideally, to put gold 1 less.
Well, it depends on how much you want to risk the math. I mean, Herber does have, some of you have resource. You're going to be rolling
Right.
1 dice anyways.
Yeah, that's true. 3 of us do.
Also, if you can increase, if you have resources of 1 and you pass this lifestyle test, that counts as a pass, and your resources goes up to 2.
so I don't get technically a roll, right? Because I just
If you pass
You do.
this, you'll go to resources 1, Bob.
excellent.
Yeah.
So it's a resource versus.
It's an ob. It's versus
it's
is only
just-
when you're like there's an opponent fighting you.
Gotcha. So ob 1.
Independent.
How am I getting the dice? Is that from?
That's from the.
your-
Do you see the screen that everyone else sees, Bob? Or
I'm in resources roll right now.
no, I know, but do you see the graphic representation of the screen?
Yeah,
that is
I
up
get
there?
1 dice.
Yeah, you get 1 die.
I'm saying, how do you add that on your resource roll screen?
It's just a gear, supplies.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
So just one dice versus ob
Right.
1.
All I'm saying is right now you have 2 dice of coin unassigned. Do you guys not want to spend that? Do you want to keep that? This one right here.
Can I use a trait like my cunning?
On a resources roll, yes. Oh, for lifestyles roll, no. No, sorry, not for lifestyle roll. No.
Okay.
Part
On a
of me
normal-
feels
Yeah.
like we should try and maintain our good standing here, and I would try and avoid any sort of badness. And
Well, and can any of us even carry that gold out of town?
right,
Oh yeah,
That's
Amos,
a better point.
Amos has empty belt pouches.
Oh, okay.
What are we gonna need it for in the dungeon? Well, I mean, we could put it in Boothby's home because they can put a catch.
Oh, the
catch
stash.
there.
Yeah, the cash.
Yeah, they have the stash in his home.
You're gonna come back and egg me.
It's gonna be
Upgraded
gone.
house. You don't know
Look at me
what
party.
Dad, don't spend this.
Halfling leaf everywhere.
We didn't think you were coming home. Your father said you'd understand.
So what if I roll 2 dice and I go over the ob? I get 2 successes. Does it help me?
Nope.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter. So
But you're gonna you
I
have
mean-
you have a 50-50 chance of passing.
yeah, I don't need the extra dice. I'm feeling pretty confident.
I've rolled with shit. I don't feel confident at all.
All right.
When it comes to die rolling, I never feel confident.
Exactly.
All right, I'm just rolling because
Okay.
you guys are taking too long.
Freaking Bob.
Awful roll.
Okay.
Terrible.
That's some
All right.
confidence for. That's what confidence
So
gets you, Bob.
so Bob
Garbage.
so Bob fails by 1, but he had 1 dice of treasure, so it absorbs 1 point of the margin of failure. So he doesn't get punished, but he doesn't get a pass either. And because he didn't pass the check, he does not get fresh.
Yep.
I think we should. I think we
Plus my
should use
nature
this
was
Oh,
gold.
taxed,
your
so I
nature's
don't
taxed
know.
anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
didn't
you're
matter
okay.
anyway.
I think we should use the gold to get Tane and Amos before any more rolls are done.
Technically, you're supposed to divide the goal before you start rolling. So.
Right. Well, I mean, he rolled because we were making
I
here
know.
and decided
You guys
this,
just
no, this
wasted-
wasn't. It was always about if Tane and Amos were gonna split this into 1 deed each, and I think we should just because I think there's a chance here you might get B.
So you want to
You
give
make it
Erber
fresh.
you want to give Erber 2 and Amos 3.
Oh, we can't split these gold up.
I mean, you
Is
can,
the
but
silver?
it's 1 and 2. It doesn't make a difference. Right.
Oh well, if Erber has 1
All right,
and then
so you
Tane
want-
has 3.
Right. So you want Tane to have 3. There you go.
And then what about if Erber turns that to 2 silver and then one of the silvers goes to Amos? Is that possible?
Yeah.
I'm just because they have to roll against a 3 and Erber has
and
1
I've got no
resource.
resource. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yep, you can do that. I mean, I don't have to physically do it. As long as you guys know what it is, it's fine.
Pretty
Okay.
much tell me what I'm rolling here.
All right, Erber, you are rolling a resources check against Ob 2 with +1 from coin spend.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right, so Erber, you pass your lifestyle test. You have no taxed nature, and you have no conditions. So you regain the fresh condition, and you get a pass on your resources. But so there you go. So you now at resources 2. Okay,
Nice.
Amos, you are rolling next, and you're rolling with
Alright.
3 bonus dice,
All right. So
Ob-
resources. So it's 4 dice total.
4 dice total.
Against Ob 3.
Yep.
3 dice.
Do you have a resources? Oh, you never bought anything.
What?
I thought you had a base resource. Oh, you do.
I do,
Okay,
one.
so 4
Yeah.
dice. Yeah, 4 dice.
Oh, I didn't think you did.
No. So you fail by 2, but you had 3 dice of treasure assigned to you, so it absorbs it all. However, because you didn't pass the test,
Not fresh.
you are not fresh. All right.
Oh, my mother kept me up all night just bitching.
Well, you know,
Never
you're
gonna see you
know,
again.
yeah. You take care of yourself. Are you eating well enough out there? I don't know if I trust the halflings cooking. Here, take my take my shepherd's pie. Okay, who wants the Sadak? Let's go with you, buddy.
All right.
So you're in +1 die.
Yep.
And you have 1 point, and you have 1 point of tax absorption.
Yes.
So you really can't fail because your ob is only 1.
Roll.
But
All right.
hey, you
Got it.
succeed, and so your
Nice.
resources goes up.
Nice.
And Tane. Now Tane
All
is rolling
right.
with 0 dice, but
Yep.
he gets 3 dice. So chances are pretty good you're going to fail, but you can't be penalized. So
All right. So here we go. 3 6s.
yep, yeah,
Yikes.
no. But so you failed by 3, but
Hey, it
because
looks like I'm rolling a character.
but because 3 points of treasure were assigned to you, it absorbs all of the tax. Also, Sadak, you gain fresh. Yeah. So
Yep.
all right.
I'd have passed
No
if I hadn't
fresh
spent all
for
my
me.
money healing those jokers.
All right. Well, your adventure in Fairhill was successful. You guys managed. Now you didn't to, of course it's a little remote village. You're not going to get cool new shiny equipment, but you did manage to refill your packs with torches. You got a new shiny rope. You got plenty of torches. You got enough food that the halfling should be able to make a good cook out of it. Erber was able to replace his helmet. Tane was able to make some scrolls of some actually useful spells. And more importantly, you guys actually managed to do a really great job clearing your conditions and getting your resources up. Not just from 0 to 1, but a lot of you are now at resources 2.
Yeah, 2 seems very big.
So that's huge because I mean that's 2 free dice every time you make a resources check. So being able to go in there and prove that you guys are worth it and that
50% chance to buy a torch.
That's right. You have a 50% chance to buy a torch. That's right. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, so I know we because it's only 8:30, so we probably have time to get back to the dungeon. And then we could probably wrap up. So technically, we are now in the adventuring phase, and you guys are back on the grind.
Nice.
The break is over. However, you have to make your way back to the Circle of Caravanal. So this is going to be a Pathfinder test. Now, Bob, what ability did you take for Caramelos for leveling up? Did you ever decide?
I did not take the one you're thinking of.
Okay. The one gives him a. The one gives him.
That would have been useful.
The one that gives him plus 1 die to Pathfinder test when he's outside.
Yep. I took the one that helps me cure exhaustion.
Oh, okay, cool. You guys are exhausted a lot.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I'm always exhausted.
All right, Bob. Well, this is going to be an issue of the elf finding your way back to the dungeon. So the destination is a short journey, Ob 2, and the route condition is nearby 1, and the route condition is infrequently used. So it's an Ob 3 journey.
Okay, so 3v3.
Yes.
Now, can anybody help during this? Remembering, the path maybe.
Scout and Cartographer can both be used to assist, along with Pathfinder.
I will aid you with my map.
Well, no, you don't have a map. If you did,
no, well, in world, I'm aiding.
These are the
with
sketches
my map.
you're making.
Mechanically, I'm aiding with Cartographer.
Yes. Well, no, but it might just be that you're very good with directions. You've taken some notes. You just haven't converted them into a
Look at the
map
stars.
yet.
I'm going to help with scouting.
Okay.
And I'm going to synergize. So
Now, just be very careful. Now, the only reason I bring this up, Ryan, is be very careful. Because if you help and Bob fails and I give him a condition, you get a condition. If you gain a condition, you lose fresh.
Right.
Just saying.
Sadok I believe that he needs my help more.
There you go. That's
The moral of the story is don't help Bob.
Yes.
I mean,
all right. So Sadok is helping with what are you helping with? Scout?
Scout.
Okay. And then GM Scott, Tane is helping with his Cartographer. Any help from Amos?
Yes, he is.
Any help from Amos or Erber?
Can I help with my wise?
I think
with the direction towards the
What is your wise?
Talmora, the actual temple.
Oh, yeah.
You're the surrounding area.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
You know the area. You know how to get there. Yeah, that's a great.
I think I assisted with Peasant as we were shepherding in these hills before.
Yes, very good.
Before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
help.
help.
Yep.
And
So
synergize.
technically it's 3 help, 1 aid.
and 1 aid.
Yes.
Okay. So 7D Ob 3.
It's pretty good.
Sounds like you need to make a check here.
Like
or gain a check by playing something against yourself.
I don't.
Oh,
really-
yes, you could gain a check by.
I already used Loner already, and it's
Loner
first.
Loner wouldn't make any sense, but
Well, now that I'm using the group to help, I was thinking against myself. I can't go against myself.
Oh,
I've already went for myself.
no, you can use it against yourself.
Well, then I want to use it against myself since I'm using the help of my friends.
Right, exactly.
now
This is
to-
exactly. This is awkward and weird for you. You're relying on your friends.
And he hears the snap, and I'm right behind him.
Yeah. That actually makes complete sense to use it
Yes.
against yourself. Yes, exactly.
Okay, so here we go. 6v3.
And this will earn you a check.
There we go.
Hey, so
Sweet.
Bob gets a pass on Pathfinder. Anybody who spent a fate point to synergize gets a pass on whatever skill you helped with. Laughing Out Loud, you used an aid, so your wise gets a pass. And then Bob, you earn a check. Okay, well, you guys make the journey. It is 1 Ticko the grind. and you successfully make the journey back across the distance, all the way back to where it began, the Circle of Caravanal.
How's our camp looking?
Well, do you want to head to your camp?
I mean, we have one check, but I think we would probably want more than that.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a good point.
You could camp. I don't know if anybody has your instincts triggered. You might benefit from going to camp, actually.
That's actually a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
I mean, does
With
anybody
one
have
check? Is it worth it?
Does anybody have instincts to trigger in camp right now?
No.
I mean, I have cartographer update the map, but
It would just be like wasting our food.
Oh, because you would
Yeah.
you would insist on feeding everybody. Okay,
Yeah,
so probably
probably
not. Probably not.
Boar stew, guys.
All right.
I've been thinking about this
Well-
recipe the entire way back.
Correct me if I'm wrong, GM Scott. We are now on your map, right?
yes, we are.
Okay, so we'll probably end here in the adventuring phase, and we'll pick it up
Okay.
here next time. And that way, you guys can just immediately go to wherever you want, and that'll help you with your goal setting. We can even probably do that in the chat before we, set that up, so we can kind of get right to it. Because next
Great.
time will actually be a really good dungeon delving session. Because you guys got a couple people with fresh, you got a couple ticks on the grind. Because remember, if you can camp before the grind happens, I mean, you might gain conditions from failed checks and stuff. But if you can camp before you get hungry and thirsty, you guys can keep your fresh a little bit longer. So there's kind of a nice little thing there if you can figure out a way to make it work for you. Also, too, your instincts and your beliefs and your goals will probably be better suited for next time with the dungeon.
'Cause
So,
mine triggers. That's good.
so
Oh yeah, do we still go through that?
oh yeah, we still do the whole thing. So
Excellent.
we'll end here so that we don't go over too much and we can kind of end on normal time. Okay, so we'll end it there and let's quickly go through. Bob, we'll start with Coronalos and we'll just kind of go down Coronalos in order. Bob,
Okay.
what was your belief?
I will always have my friends back. Didn't really come up
I
in
don't-
this.
I don't think so either. But your goal was
get back to the dungeon.
all right. So you earn a persona point by accomplishing that goal,
Boom.
and then your instinct never came up.
Nope.
Obviously.
Correct. Nope.
Okay, great. Let's next go to Ryan and let's go to Sadok. Sadok, you had your belief was, I believe the group needs me more than I need them. All right, you made your ploy. I heard it. I heard it. You earn your fate point. You earn your fate point. And your goal is to make sure your packs are full. Boy, you did a really great job of that.
Oh yeah. We're like to the brink.
Well, not only that, Ryan, the whole session was like, guys, these torches though, guys, these torches though, can we find torches? Is that something? Is that an option? If we can't buy them, can we scavenge them from the ground? So you earn a persona point for accomplishing your goal, and obviously you guys did not go to camp, so no instinct there. As a side note, for those of you who are level 2, remember if you get to level 3, you earn a creed, and the creed is a new way to earn persona and fate, so it can be kind of to your benefit to that respect too. Tane, your belief is my reliance on others highlights my weakness in magic. When I gain enough power, I will no longer need them.
Yeah, that's
No,
for later.
That's for later. Goal, I must write scrolls of ethereal appendage. Goal successful, buddy.
Successful.
Persona point gained for that.
I
And then-
now have enough that if I can spend both personas, I would be eligible for level 2.
Okay, well, that'll obviously... Also, you don't level up until you enter town, so... you'd
Right?
have
No,
to-
no, I understand.
Yeah.
But I wasn't eligible before.
Got it. All right, Amos. Amos, your belief is you are the defender of the defenseless.
Didn't really defend anybody this time.
The defeater of
Your
the
goal was
defeatless.
to deliver the body of Kurt, the shepherd
After
boy, to
4 sessions.
After 4 sessions. You know what? This is a big personal goal, Amos. I'm going to give you 2 persona points.
Wow.
You've
Been holding on to that for a while.
you've been holding on to that
Nice.
body for the whole campaign. It's been your goal since the beginning. You never wavered. It was
Nope.
always your intention. You
Well,
finally
was it
did
first
it.
to find the body.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, it was. But I'm saying he's been
Find out
focused
later.
on this one
Oh,
goal.
yeah.
So
But
It's like
here's
an arc.
but yeah, here's the best
I
part
didn't give
is-
up
is-
5 minutes from the goal.
No, and he didn't give up knowing full well that he was not going to get any kind of reward for it. He
Correct.
still kept with it.
correct.
That's right. That is.
I
true.
mean, he did make the Weaver friends, which will last in
Yep.
perpetuity. It did get him the
But
rope.
he didn't know that.
That's true. He did not know
As
that.
far as we knew, there was going to be 0 reward for it.
That
yeah,
is very
I was
true.
expecting a reward. I was going to try and make the rope myself with peasant.
All right, and
not with a peasant.
Erber, you believe
And,
that everyone.
I should have tried to make the case that performing the surgery on the 2 party members was a dirty job for an instant.
Oh yeah.
Oh, as an
That'd been good.
instinct. you know what? Yes, I would have probably given that to you for free.
Yeah.
At least the first one, because you're like, fine, vomit into this. But all right, so Erber, your belief is that everyone should know how great we are. You went out of your way to tell tales, literally, get the group a bunch of hype. They all gain +1 circles, so you get a fate point for upholding your belief. And then your goal is you will recover in town. And not only that, you're fresh. So good job there. You earn a persona point. So you earn a fate and a persona. And then, of course, at the end, we ask if there was who was the MVP and who was the team worker.
MVP.
The person who made the single most important role of the session. And then the MVP or the team worker is the person who, kind of did the dirty work, got it done, even though it wasn't sexy or glorious.
Well, I feel like it sounds like
one of them's got to be.
I think Amos is at least one of those.
Yeah, because he was the one that healed the checks.
No, he failed both of them.
But they successly got their conditions.
Yeah, they could have also just vomited, and they would have gotten the same effect.
Damn good point. But he did help me level up my survival.
He brought back his, he accomplished his goal with the child. So
which got you nothing.
Yeah,
I think my big goal was getting all that meat.
I was actually going to say Bob hunting and getting all
the
that
hunting check was
all that bacon.
All right, so Bob MVP for getting the group
for providing bacon.
Yeah. For providing bacon. Yes.
I gave up my coal for a failed check.
Now, as far as who the team worker was, I'm not sure. I mean, who do you think did the most, made the most checks, and kind of helped everybody? Was there somebody who was always helping on every roll? Actually, I think Boothby helped with peasant on every roll. So
Boothby helped with peasant on every roll. My other option would be Laughing Out Law for all of his market work that he was doing.
Right, he was the one with the high resources. So
helping. I mean, he helped Boothby get a resource, which then helped Ryan get a resource.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, I like laughing there.
Yeah. Also, he told the tales, which gave you guys that.
Huge.
And he bought the helmet, which was for himself. But he was.
I got to do a little something for me. That was like my treat for myself.
And he gave up that piece of charcoal.
And the charcoal. Yep.
All right. So, Laughing Outlaw gain a persona point for being a team worker.
An MVP gets you a persona.
An MVP gets you a persona.
If I spend this all that I have,
I think you need 6.
I need one more fate, and then I could spend that, and I'll be 7/6.
I think it's 6, 7.
Yeah,
it's
7 fate, 6 persona.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 7 fate, 6 persona.
Yeah, so I'm real close to being on the brink to do it.
Okay. Well, all the good news too is, I mean, especially Amos and Sadak, you guys are sitting on a bank of fate and persona, so you guys will be able to kind of go in here in this dungeon and just alpha strike. Even Tane's got some persona, because Tane, you were always kind of lagging a little bit because you missed that one session, and that kind of put you behind the 8 ball a little bit.
And I changed my goals before I accomplish them.
Correct.
It does hurt. It does hurt.
I was like, oh, it's literally in the next room. It's so literally in the next room. I felt so bad about that.
We're never gonna find this thing. Oh, what's that? I just tripped over.
Right. So since we do have a little bit of time here, now that that's the end of the session, I mean, again, you guys are free to drop out. But one thing that you guys can kind of maybe briefly discuss is kind of what you do actually want to do next, because
I have a vote
in Discord. You guys do have the map of what you guys have accomplished. And actually, let me see if I can copy paste that.
We definitely need to find this harp. That's
for
number one.
Do you want me to use Boothby's map?
Everyone had the pretty pictures.
Yeah,
that's more accurate.
Which one's more accurate?
Stairs down, statue hall. Yeah, that actually works pretty well. Yep, that's actually perfect.
I'll probably clean it up later, but
let me see if this will let me paste this in here. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, I just like the pretty pictures.
Oh yeah, it'll upload. Sweet.
I'm still using Excalibur for my own map, though.
No. The pictures are just a nice. Oh, that's totally respectable. I have no problem with that. Okay.
Yeah, I think the only room I didn't get was that statue hall. We were only in there for like 30 seconds.
Right. Yeah, you guys literally were only in there just briefly. So, let me get this sized up. There we go.
I love Secret Super Camp. It's just hilarious.
Yes. So you guys have. Oh, that's why they can't see it. Dang, I forgot that I want the OBS people to see the map. So, there we go. All right, so the party is currently at the ruins of Carvanal, and of course, you guys can see that you guys have access now because of the map. You can take the well shaft straight down, without having to make dungeoneering checks. You can also take the stairs at the platform down back to the Hall of Azure Mist, back to the pre-reliquary room, back to the Dragonbone Dagger reliquary room. You also have access to go to the web hallways, which can lead to your secret camp. That also leads back to the tomb where the well shaft extends. So you guys can go to any of those spaces. Now, in terms of additional locations that you have not explored, remember, red is an unmapped passage. You'd have to find it again. There are other passages off of the webbed hallways. And remember, there is also another door that leads off of this chamber.
Which chamber?
Sorry, you're right. You're not in the chamber. Off of the Blue Mist hallway. It's the door that was off above the Dragon Mist door.
Oh yeah, I've got that on my map.
That has
There's
all the tracks and stuff like that.
Unexplored door there that we know about.
Yeah. So, just FYI. So, maybe some discussion about what it is that you guys actually want to do.
I vote.
gotta be the harp.
I vote for one where we don't know where the harp is,
But we gotta
we're
start looking
fresh,
for it.
We're ready. I say we go take those 4 skeletons at the bottom of the well.
Yeah. Or maybe just sneak past them if we could.
Oh, because they still have that gold torch. We want that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there is a treasure there, but I mean,
Could you imagine?
so
this
I'm just confused.
Gone.
We dropped down last time, and we thought, no way we could take these. We
weren't ready for them. We didn't know what we were doing.
Nope.
We didn't have any. All
now we
had was
have
a light.
we have the Persona and Fate to handle it a little bit, but I mean, we're not like maxed out. I mean, we're not like.
I have a
We're
way to possibly even the odds,
We're far
Okay.
more
or
prepared.
tip them in our favor.
Yeah.
If they are cleared out, there was a bunch of we were running chaotically. There's some passages down there we could probably find out more information, and I think down is the way to find this harp. So I don't mind that.
So either that reliquary at the bottom of the well or that web-filled passage.
The other option is you guys could try to make a dungeoneering check to try to refine that statue hall again.
Okay.
And that was an area that you did come across, but it's there. You just don't know where it leads or what it does, but obviously it's a location. So, there's probably something.
And
going on.
you have pretty good dungeoneering, right, Herber?
I have. Oh, let me pull it up. I think I have a 2 right now. Yeah, I got a 3.
3 plus this is one of your wises too, so maybe.
Yep.
Well, also remember right now he'd be rolling with 4 dice because he's fresh.
Yeah, so maybe we could try to find that statue room. That's not a bad idea.
And then y'all could also help me. So
I don't mind either way. I mean, I would tend to lead towards the non-risky fight, but I don't. If you're confident,
I can turn the tide in our favor.
then I don't
I'm
mind
fairly
taking them down.
And this would be we'd specifically be driving them off.
No,
Or we could kill them.
kill them.
I actually now am not afraid of getting into a kill conflict.
Oh, shit, we got 2
I'll
people
say
not
that.
afraid anymore. Okay.
But remember, if we have any sort of we could die even if we win, we still can die. One of us could, because that's the compromise. Even a lesser compromise could mean
Right, but
one of us
remember,
dies.
driving
But your
off.
disposition roll our disposition roll in a fight against these things would be much higher than it was when we first dropped down here.
I mean, what happens if we die? You make a new character?
That is correct.
Yes.
You get to take up to 3 points, I think, of fate and persona onto your new character. So there's that.
But they don't go up to 2nd level.
Oh no, they started first.
Yeah.
So the level 1 people are in front. Just in case.
I mean,
So yeah,
I like
you're
doing it
confident,
when I like
Amos.
going in there when we know it's dangerous, but we're also the freshest we will ever be.
I agree with that. If
Yeah.
you're
And we actually know
confident,
how to
if you
play the
two
game.
are confident that we could turn the tides, sure, let's go in there and
Well, the next question is, where would the harp be? Would it be at that statue room? And
Nice.
it's
on
just that
or
we
would
have
it be
more room to
deeper?
explore if we're not being chased by skeletons.
Right, we're
Yeah,
not going
right.
to be chased by skeletons. We're going to be
Yeah.
dead, or we're gonna be dead.
Yeah, I mean, those are the 2 options.
Somebody's
That's
gonna
it.
die tonight.
Those are your only choices. So just to clarify, Derek, you said
Yep.
that there was a passage off of that pit trap room with the dragon head, the blue mist.
there's actually
You could see Boothby's little yellow door.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be an unexplored door.
Yeah, I got to clean up my map. It was a rush job. I'm sorry.
double checking with Derek to update my map. And then you said there was another one off of the web-filled passages.
Oh, well, the web-filled passages can lead to probably maybe 5 or 6
Yeah.
different locations.
Yeah, there's
so
all kinds
there's
of yeah. Those are
more,
just the
okay.
no. We know there's a door in that.
Because we just felt the breeze and wanted to go up.
Right.
We
Right.
knew
just
going
followed
up was
passages.
out.
And
Right.
then the same with the skeleton room at the bottom of the shaft. There's a lot of
there's all kinds of
possibilities
places
there
off of that,
too.
probably.
Yep. There's
Yeah, 'cause we just took
the
off.
way it works from a point crawl perspective is there's chambers, and then a bunch of chambers connect to like these hub locations that are things like twisting corridors, web-filled passages, collapsed hallways, and those act as sort of hubs. And when you enter those hubs, you have to make dungeoneering checks in order to sort of go to a specific location. And if you don't have a specific location in mind, then when you make your check, depending on what you get, I take you to a certain location. And then obviously if you add it to your map, you can go obviously fast travel to that location. But in terms of finding a new one, you have to actually make a dungeoneering check off of that location. So yes, the web-filled hallways do lead other places.
Okay. I just
And
want to make
like-
sure that I've got that marked, that because some of these places don't have exits other than the ones we know of.
Correct.
Let's take these skeletons out next time. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's like, I mean,
We'll make Boothby the leader too, so it'll be all his fault.
Well, so let's actually break that down. So a kill conflict uses fighter, and it's added to health.
I have
Drive off
7 total.
Drive off is fighter added to will. So kill conflict uses health, and then in a drive off conflict, you use fighter to attack and feint, and will to defend and to maneuver. But in a kill conflict, you use fighter to attack and feint still, and use health to defend and
So
maneuver.
those are the same for me. Both of those would not matter.
Right, because
Yeah.
you're an
I
elf.
mean,
You're
we're,
pretty,
we're about 7 dice regardless. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, my wizard's Aegis spell, it's a casting time of free. It lasts for 1 conflict, and it allows me to use the Arcanist skill, which I have a 4 in, to defend in place of the required skill or ability during a kill, capture, or drive off conflict.
Oh,
So
yeah, but it's even
as soon as
it's even crazier than that though.
it's even crazier than that, because I also get +2 successes to defend. And if my defend action is successful, the opposing team suffers -1 die to its next action.
what's the? I mean, what's
So I mean, that's one spell. The spell I had last time was I could create noises that might distract some living creatures, maybe.
what's the
But that took time for me to cast. Yeah.
in a
Yeah,
kill
we're more prepared now.
defend is
You came in originally with party tricks.
Yeah.
Well,
essentially.
defend is health.
defend is health.
But he's saying if he casts his wizard Aegis, he can use his Arcanist.
Yep.
And I get
And-
to use it for
Which is
any
the
of
one that
That's
lets you
nice.
get back your
Defend.
disposition
Defend.
defend.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
stop giving Derek the know-how.
Oh,
of
I know.
what-
I'm well aware of what it does.
like GM's
And
GM's
gave me
got me
the-
going, Tane's even going. Derek's like he's defending.
He gave me the spell.
I mean,
Boothby's the one that organizes
but
our
remember, I put my cards in before
team. Right.
you guys pick your cards.
Oh.
Now, to be fair, I know that GM Scott is going.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm
I
saying.
might put in I might put a feint against him because I think he's going to defend. But then you guys could be like, I think Derek would have put a feint against us, knowing that we're going to defend. So we should attack.
Inception.
Get him.
The,
But then I'm like, wait, but I know that they're going to attack, so I should defend.
Well, we should also assume that these skeletons might be mindless, and they would probably use the same tactics they used last time.
yeah, I mean,
Derek does
drive off
technically
is
have
gonna
to
be
play
hard,
him
I think.
correctly.
Yeah, if
I-
Derek plays them correctly.
Correct.
I just if we have any minus in our disposition, there's some sort of compromise.
Correct. There.
And in a kill conflict, that means
So
death or
yes.
injury.
So here's the thing: if you lose a kill conflict, if you win a kill conflict, and you have to minor compromise, all right. So that means you win, but like lose a couple of points. It could be that the loser inflicts injury on the winning, so everybody takes an injury, or the loser kills one of the winning team. So if you even lose a point or two in a kill conflict, one of the options that's on the table is one of you dies.
Mm-hmm.
Just FYI.
I'm not against fighting the skeletons, but I don't think knowingly going into a kill conflict is a smart idea, even if we have.
Yeah. My thinking is that if we don't, they're just gonna stay there. They will always be there.
I kind of like the idea of us going in to kill them. Like this isn't like, oh, now we just might fight each other to the death. Like we are going in with the mentality to ambush and maybe kill them.
Yeah, we are fresh.
Yeah.
We are fresh, so we get the extra dice for being full. Some
Some of you are, yeah.
So we get extra dice on that too.
And did we still have that holy water, or did we use it?
I have holy water.
So I mean, that too, I'm betting.
I'm game. I'm game.
Ryan's like, my goal would be to make a convince my party not to do that.
Yeah.
Look, high risk, high reward. What would Gull say? Shy boys get no toys.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is true. You do have 3 flasks of holy water, and you could hand them out beforehand, and it gives a +1 S. So that's not a die. That's a +1 success.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
If we did that, we'd have to really manage our disposition as much as we are managing their negative.
Correct.
We'd have to be making sure we're doing things before the conflict ends that we boost that up, like defending.
Yes.
Agreed.
We'd have to. We go in knowing how we're gonna go in. Like
you'd have to have a plan, is what that's called.
Yeah.
I have a plan.
All right.
No, my favorite part is how Boothie keeps going, guys, I have a plan. And you're like, are you going to share it? He's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
All ones.
You know what, though? If that happened, you might be like, guys, I will sacrifice my character. I'm the one
that dies.
Back, foul demons of the abyss. Oh.
That's the plan.
You fools!
That is the plan.
Oh, I know what the plan is. The plan is the invocation to the lords of life and death. I know what the invocation is.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yes, I know what the plan is. All right. All right. Well, it is 9:00, so we're going to wrap it up there. So thanks, everybody, for joining us. I know a couple of people were like, Derek, where's episode 4? And it's because
I heard you mention that.
Yeah, we got delayed a month because of Easter. So now both teams have actually had 4 sessions because Saturday got to go. Now, Saturday should be playing this next Saturday, but I'm going to be at PAX East, so they're going to be off by 1 again. So you guys are going to get to play. You'll get 2 times in a row. They got 2 times in a row. Now you guys will get 2 times in a row. So you guys
now the time is back correct because
it will be after
ending up
PAX.
time.
It will be after
then.
PAX. It will be after PAX. Yeah. So
no, what I mean is, we are now heading back to the dungeon, and they're out of town. Narratively, time related.
We pass each other on the road, essentially.
Yes, we passed. Each other on the road.
Not exactly, but yeah. So
Okay.
You guys are both basically, you're at the dungeon, and they have left the dungeon and gone to town and returned and did their stuff.
They're back at the dungeon again. Oh, so they're technically ahead of us. Okay.
Yes,
I
they're
just
ahead
want
of
to know
you.
that we're basically back on the time.
Well, what I'm saying,
zone.
they're ahead of you, but then after you guys, they won't play, and then you guys will play, and that'll put you
We'll
ahead
be
of them. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
So that'll put
Cool.
you back ahead of them. Yes, exactly. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. And
this is
remember,
great.
if you want to see more Torchbearer action, join the Patreon, and that'll get you access to both campaigns. You can kind of see it from both sides, and that'll make this way more funny. And you get to enjoy both sides. Like you'll get to enjoy how the other group is like, how are we going to spend all of this money in this shitty little town?
I'm waiting to watch the videos until after we're done.
You saw
same with me.
I saw 2 photos
Okay.
that were shared, and one of them was against 1 million bandits. I was like, what the heck did they get themselves into? I was like, you're like, they're in a bad spot, and I was like, okay, that's not a bad.
Yeah, they're in a bad spot in town.
Not a bad spot. That's a terrifying.
Yes, that
spot.
was in town. That is true. That is true.
And then the next thing I saw was how you demonstrated how everything was being moved around we're using the town plane as like our shared resources, like what we have.
Yeah.
They had so many icons on their map. I thought you had pulled it out as like an inventory. Like, here's the shop. Here's what's available. Like you did originally. No, that's what they bought. It was so much stuff.
They're bragging that they're on easy mode. And they got a lot of money to spend.
Yeah. What's up with this? Are they just better than us?
Listen, you got watch.
I think they went through that room that we went into, and they went through every single little trap thing and picked up every single gold.
Well, we know they looted them.
I think they have that kid's head. I think they took the head. They're like, we
Well,
don't
that's
need
what
the
we
whole
told
body,
Town.
let's take the head.
That's what we told Town.
They're using
they
it
might
for
have used
rituals.
the head as a cup or something like that.
Yeah, it's really funny. The two ways that everybody's crossing paths. It's really funny.
I think Derek is a Jekyll and Hyde DM, and we've got the Hydes, or we got the bad side.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think we've done badly.
We just rolled poorly.
We got behind the 8 ball a couple of times.
I think that was the thing. We got behind, but now we're going in. Getting ahead of that.
Now, what is interesting about the Saturday group is that
they keep quitting.
no,
Yeah, exactly.
no, is that they've had a lot of turnover. So like in some ways, like they've been able to be like, hey, new person, you should definitely have these skills because we've learned that we don't need, we don't have them and we need
And
them.
make sure you grab a crap ton of wine on the way in.
So they've kind of like been able to like dial in their party a little bit better. So
That's true.
That's maybe, but anyways, all right, everybody.
All right.
So if you want to see all that, join the Patreon. You get both, and then of course, obviously, all the other cool benefits. And if you're not already, twitch.tv/Knights of Last Call, and give me your Prime sub if you're willing to do and you want to be gracious, and I'd really appreciate that. All right, everybody, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.